You have thumbs up without even doing anything.
Yeah, that's always a good sign, you know.
This is a no-lose night.
Yes, hey everybody, this is Johnny Beane, and it is 5:14 out here in. I'm in Santa Cruz, by the way. You know where Santa Cruz is?
Well, I live in Hollywood, so I mean, I'm from New York, just visiting right now, but I live in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
mm-hmm. Cool.
You're in my adopted home.
Oh, what is it? December 4th, 2018. And we got 35 people looking at this already. 37.
Half are my relatives.
39. 40. David Nesdahl is here.
Hey.
What's up, man?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Gotta tell you, I'm pretty good. I had my first treatment of dialysis yesterday. And I feel better today than I have in the last 2 months already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. I'm glad you're feeling better, man. That's
I mean, I had the energy level was really good today. Really good.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, hey, and who's our guest?
This is my friend Jonathan Mankuta, who is a guitar player and a TV actor who you all may have seen on the TV show Lost, amongst other shows that we could talk about. But he's one of the bad guys. He's one of the others.
I was one of the bad guys. Now I'm on. I was on Veep this year and last year, and I was a congressman, so I was still technically a bad guy, depending on where your political views lie. And I was on a TV show called Hollywood Treasure on Sci-Fi for a couple of years. Some people may have watched that if they're into all the good sci-fi stuff. A lot of us are. I'm a geek's geek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
With one hell of a guitar collection.
Guitars and comic books. That's my passion.
Mm-hmm.
And my girlfriend. Wow. And my girlfriend.
And
I gotta say that. Gotta say that.
You can't forget those at all.
Yeah. She's one of those people watching right now giving a thumbs down.
Oh no.
You better say my name.
Oh man. Well, hey, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you.
We'll have some fun tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yes. Yes. And Jay Hannon will be here at some point. So even more fun.
More than you should be allowed to have. Put on your bladder control diapers. This is going to be a show.
John BL, did you Google Jonathan? Because he's like our producer, John BL 5150.
Thank you, John BL, for having me. I pray to God I don't smash your ratings into the ground just for one night. I hope you know. Mercy.
I said he's like our producer.
Yeah. Anytime we're stumped on something, he right there's the answer, So nice. Yeah, John.
So how about you, Johnny? What are you up to? How you been?
Oh, just busy as always.
Mm-hmm.
Very busy. Was in the studio yesterday doing some recording, which is always good. And I think a lot of people were kind of surprised to see me play an acoustic guitar for once. Right there.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
I don't even own an acoustic guitar.
Neither do I.
Mm-hmm. I have 300 plus electric guitars, no acoustic, not one.
Huh. What about a bass?
I have 3 basses, only because they belong to Jerry Dixon. I'm a big fan of the glam bands. I like Warrant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
So they're BC Rich basses?
2 BC Riches, 1 Hamer.
Oh,
the Cherry Pie video bass. I mean, all ones you've seen in videos and stuff.
Wow. Yeah, that's the thing with John. He collects a lot of celebrity guitars. Like he has everyone you can dream of, every celebrity guitar, and ones that you've all seen.
A lot of the '80s guys. The '80s guys are really, that's my niche. That's you know, what and everyone gets played. Before anyone says, "Do you play those?" Yeah, yes. I figure if George Lynch can't destroy a guitar on 1,000 shows, I'm not going to do any damage in my living room.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, they all need to get played. That's what I don't like about the Hard Rock Cafe. Yeah. They don't get played. They don't get maintained. Mine get played and maintained.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Very cool stuff.
So, should we say hey to whoever's looking at this?
Yeah. Go ahead. Do you want to do that, Johnny, or you want me to?
Sure. I'll do it. Jim Nicholas is in here. He's asking, Great White. Do you have any Great White guitars?
I do actually. I have Mark Kendall's Shark guitar. I'm friends with Mark. One of probably the most underrated players of the '80s. I have that guitar that's shaped like a shark with a leg coming out of it and a sneaker hanging out of it. I have that. It was made by Dan Lawrence at BC Rich. But I have that one, yeah. He played it a lot in the '80s.
I remember that.
It's in the Lady Red Light video.
That's it.
Yeah.
Man, awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, that's when guys really played their guitars in the '80s. That's what I like about it. And guys like George Lynch, and you know, I like CC DeVille a lot. I know he's very polarizing to a lot of people. You either love him or hate him, but I love CC and his guitars. I have a bunch of, and you know, guys like that. I love that stuff.
Wow. Zach Thong is in the chat. Shauna Marie Sings is here. Brendan B Squared.
Butt cheeks.
Yeah. Brendan Butt Cheeks, I guess is his nickname. Stan Adams, Ben Coombs, Jimmy T, Mike himself, John Windsor, Carlos Figueroa, right?
Figueroa.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Vinny Romano, Guitar Hack, R2R3 Locky Nut. Shout out. R2R3. Hey, man. Mr. BHB. I think that's Bruce. A lot of people. Sonia. You got 55 people watching us.
55,000, right?
Yeah.
55 zillion.
Oh.
Not watching this show.
They're out Hanukkah shopping.
Anthony is here. Todd, aka Soda Pop. Cool. So
cool guys.
Yeah. A lot of cool.
If you're here, this is that really, really cool exclusive club that everyone wants to be in but doesn't know about. You're good to be here tonight. This is a good place.
I like this guy. He's gonna stay.
Your wife's already cleaning out your dresser. She's like, I'd rather have him stay too.
I know. Jared Frost. Jared Frost is here, man. Hey, how's that Ibanez guitar? Jared bought that USA Custom Ibanez.
The brown quilted one?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you did no wrong with that. That's a good piece. Very cool.
Yes. Yeah. GTV Guitar TV is watching us.
GTV. Left the hospital for this. Thank you. I hope you bandaged up. He's dripping blood on the way to the car.
Man. So what? Do we need to I can't say the word kill. Whatever, I just said
really?
It. Do we want to kill some more time? Or do we have guitars we want to look at? Or
start opening stuff.
Should we wait for Jay?
Jay, how long are you gonna be? Jay is 7 over 8. That's
okay. I'm 6 over 9. Let's see. I feel like we're on Romper Room where I hold up a little magic mirror.
Yeah.
And Jacob and Romper Bomper Stomper Do.
Yeah. We do that sometimes. Oh man.
No, don't. Looks like. Does that mean he's not coming on tonight?
Huh? Don't wait, he says.
So why don't you start opening some stuff?
Someone just asked if Brian Davies just asked if I have any Vivian Campbell Night Swan Kramer polka dots. I do have a few guitars of Vivian Campbell's. I have two Rands that he played. One was in the Still the Night video. It's a red and cream one, and a orange and yellow one in the Is This Love video. So I do have two of Vivian's guitars. He's an amazing player, obviously. And also of Whitesnake, I have Adrian Vandenberg's Black Fernandez with the white and pink squares.
Oh, cool.
So
with
I have that.
Back, upside down headstock?
Yes. And what's interesting is a lot of people, I hope you don't mind me talking about this.
I don't mind at all.
A lot of people remember that was actually stolen when he was touring, when Adrian was touring, and it appeared in Los Angeles for sale. And I tried to help Adrian get it back, and the guy basically, the police couldn't do anything, and Adrian didn't have a police report, and he just wrote me. He's like, you know what? I know you want that guitar. If you want to buy it, go buy it with my blessing. And I said, well, you know what? I'll pay you, and I'll pay the guy who has it. So I'll buy it twice just to make you whole. And he's like, no, you have my blessing. I'd rather you have that guitar than someone else have it, because I know you and you're a fan. And so he's like, I mean, that was just like the classiest thing ever.
That's amazing.
Super, super nice guy, Adrian Vandenberg.
Wow.
I can't believe you're actually not at Generation Axe tonight. They're in town.
I'm not. And I can't believe I'm not working tonight. I'm not on a film set. So I'm one step away from poor and homeless. So I can't believe it either.
One step closer, but not really next to.
Well, Dave's house is kind of like a film set tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
Got a lot of cool toys in this toy box here. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you.
I brought a couple of toys of my own. I'll show throughout the show. We'll play show and tell. Just a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna blow my mind. I know it.
So you haven't seen them yet, Dave?
No.
You haven't seen the guitars?
I know what they are, but I have not looked at them yet.
Todd, a.k.a. Soda Pop, they never said your name on Romper Room, but we said it here on this show. So there you go. Better than Romper Room. And, Romper Room had a guy named Doobie, and, we don't have any Doobies here, but in spirit.
They take my gun permit away if they do that.
There you go.
Oh.
But your name got said. So
Doobie. Was he like a caterpillar or something?
He was a bee. He was a bee.
He was a bee.
A big fat bumblebee, kind of ambisexual. You didn't know if it was a guy or a girl, but let's see. I don't own any of Steve Stevens' pink guitars, but I love pink guitars. I'm just answering a question from Brian Davies. No Vinnie Vincent Flying V's, but I have some very similar because I do have a lot of pink guitars, including some Rhodes guitars. So
you have? Oh, really?
I have a huge flood.
I thought you meant like Randy's was one of them.
No, I don't have any Randys. I wish. Good God. I'd sleep with Dolores to get one.
Oh.
And she's not with us anymore. Rest her soul. That's how bad I want one. That's how bad I want one.
Well, I'd sleep with Desiree to get one of Eddie Van Halen's guitars.
Oh, there you go. I'd sleep with Desiree just to, well, hey. Let's see.
Go get my gun.
I do have a Mick Mars guitar. It's not one of his Kramers, but it's a Charvel that was originally Mark Diglio's of XYZ, and then it got passed on to Mick Mars, and he recorded the Motley Crue, I think 1990 or 91 self-titled album with that, or about half of it. So I do have that, answering Jim Nichols' question, if I have any Mick Mars guitars. Vi guitars. Well, you never know what may show up on the show tonight, so stay tuned.
Oh.
That's going out to Daniel Greco.
Jay, you got to get on here to see this. You need to get on here. That's the only guitar that I've seen, but I saw it 20-some-odd years ago. 30 years ago? Where are we?
Probably like, 91. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I played it back then for a good month or so, maybe a couple more, maybe a couple months.
Just hitting a few of these questions. Jimmy T, do I have a Prince Cloud guitar? No, although I think he's one of the most underrated guitarists in the world. Real shame about him. And Todd, aka Soda Pop, wants to know about Steve Vai's guitar in Crossroads. That one, which is a Jackson, Red Sparkle Jackson, is in the Hard Rock Cafe.
There's actually two of them. There's two guitars from that video shoot. There's that Jackson that he played, right, and then there's a Strat headstock Jackson
in the background.
In the background on a stand.
In the background. The one, I think the one he's referring to is the one that he cut off the heads with.
Right. Yeah.
And that one actually got damaged when Vai threw it down.
Oh, it did get damaged.
Yeah, so it got a nice crack in it, but it's resting in the Hard Rock Cafe where it's, you know, not being maintained or played or enjoyed or appreciated anyway, but that's where that one is. No Petrucci, but I really like his playing. Answering Jarrett's question. Kiss guitars, Guitar Hack wants to know. I do have a Kiss guitar. I have one of Bruce Kulick's.
ESP?
Jackson soloist that he used in the All Night video.
Is it a gray one?
It's white with like a zebra tiger stripe kind of pattern. It's a one hum soloist, and Bruce is a great guy. I'm friends with Bruce. Really nice guy. None of Ace Frehley's. To answer Ben's question, let's see, Steven. Brian Davies wants to know if it's a Vai guitar from David Lee Roth's Skyscraper. Well, if it is, we will maybe show it tonight sometime. If it is, I don't know. What do you think?
I'm thinking there's a good chance that it could,
foreshadowing. It
could be, or it might not be. There's a good chance of either.
It's going to be one of those,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, it could be one of those. It could be one of those.
I'm excited either way.
I wish I had a Warren DeMartini guitar. I'm friends with Warren's daughter and his cousin, and really good friends with his cousin. And I don't have one of his guitars. Warren has them all. I wish I had.
Well, there's one that he doesn't have. That's at the Music Zoo.
He sold, he put out, not the bomber, the masks.
Oh, is it the masks? The masks, yeah, the masks are at.
Yeah, he won't get rid of. He won't get rid of the.
At the Music Zoo.
Brian Davies, you're not right yet, so no prize yet. Well, hey, listen, we have a lot of prizes to give away because I'm in someone else's house, so anything I give away is great because it's not mine. I may even give away some of his guitars during commercial. You never know. Stick around.
I've done it.
Stick around.
I've given away one of my guitars.
Where was I?
Well, you weren't the gentleman that was in need of one.
Oh, yeah. Can't fight you there. I need a life. I need dignity, but I don't need another guitar.
I'll tell you the story. We have a follower, a friend of ours, Vinny Adam Romano, who's on here, and he had someone sell him a Van Halen replica and said it was one of Eddie's guitars.
Oh, hey, when that happens.
And Vinny believed him, and we told him to give it back. And I felt we as the three of us felt horrible. So I had a body and a neck, and he had some parts, and the other guy had some parts.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we put it together, and we had Paul Unkert build it for him.
Who builds Eddie's guitars. And
we presented it to him.
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Bruce Kulick is a nice guy. I agree. A lot of guesses for which Vai guitar I have. Let's see. No Neil Sean guitars. Thank you, Ben Coombs. If you were a woman, I would kiss you. He says I'm hilarious.
He has a sister, Amanda.
He has a sister.
Listen, Ben, dress up in drag and wait till I've had a few shots. And,
no, I think he'd rather kiss his sister.
You never know. Let's see.
Brian, you have a question. He says, "Can I ask a question? As I had to sell my white EVH to fix my car. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm thinking of building a new one. Should I start with an EVH or a Frankie or a 5150?
I was thinking we have Paul Unkert come and fix your car.
Ooh.
How about that?
He's getting up there in age, though.
The car or Paul?
Both. Both. You know, the 5150 guitar probably would be the easiest of the three to build. Not saying that you'd have a hard time building any of them, but if you wanted to build, it would be the easiest to get the parts for and easiest to put together. The striping scheme, if you wish to do that, is also the easiest of the three. And they're great guitars. So that's probably what I would do. You know, with the Wolfgang, that might be the least expensive way to go, maybe. But finding some parts for that might be hard.
There you go. The closest I have to one of Eddie's own guitars is a buddy of mine found an old Charvel that was refinished in red, and he started to strip off the paint, and it revealed like an old EVH paint job from the old Charvel factory. And it wasn't Eddie's guitar, but he was friends with Eddie, so he thought, hey, I'll bring it over to Eddie's, and he'll get a kick out of it. So Eddie says, well, why don't you leave it here? I'll noodle around with it for a week or two. So he goes back a couple weeks later, and Eddie's been playing around with this guitar just as a beater around the house. And he decided to take a Sharpie. And he said, well, the guitar is red and white. It needed some black. So Eddie drew all these designs and doodles all over this guitar, little arrows and stripes and things like that. And then he signed Eddie Van Halen on the front. So you know, I couldn't resist having something that Eddie just, you know, played around with for the month. And, you know, I have a lot of old Charvels I really like. And the idea that Eddie actually, rather than taped it, just sat there with a marker and said, oh, let me draw on this piece of crap. It's, you know it's a fun piece.
It's funny. And the fact that you said stripes and arrows, because he loves arrows.
He drew little arrows.
He draws arrows on a lot of his guitars. He has
drew it on mine.
Very cool.
Or what's mine now. But
yeah, very cool.
That's a great story, man.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I'm full of a lot of great stories if you have nothing better to do. I mean,
yeah. Well,
there's nothing good on TV. Believe me, I got a lot of boring, really interesting stuff in my kitchen.
That's a great question.
What is the most prized guitar? It's hard because, I mean, you know, probably my personal most prized guitars are like the first ones I got, probably like the first three I got, I'd say. You know, you expect like, oh, you know, one of the big celebrity guitars, and I love them. I mean, I'm passionate about having them. I play them. I enjoy them. But my personal favorite guitars, my first guitar was an 88 Fender Stratocaster, which was like the most boring vanilla guitar in the world. I wanted, you know, I had a girlfriend that was going to buy me an electric guitar for my birthday. I was totally jazzed because you're talking the late 80s, hair down to my ass. I was all about it. And she said, yeah, let me take you to the guitar store. And I said, well, I don't know if you'll be able to help me. A buddy of mine plays in a band who toured with Cheap Trick at the time, a band called Motor Mouse. And he said, I'll take you down there. And he played a 59 Les Paul. So I was like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. So he took me down to the guitar store. I immediately fell in love with a BC Rich Gunslinger in gray snakeskin. He said, get rid of that piece of crap. And, you know, that's not a real man's guitar. This is a man's guitar. And he strapped on me this vanilla cream Fender Stratocaster, and I bought it on his recommendation. I thought it was the most boring guitar in the world, as much as I liked it, you know, just playing it. So my second guitar, like a week later, was the opposite. It was a Kramer Beretta with hollow flash stripes going up and down it. And right after that, I got an original neon green and pink Steve Vai Gem 777 Limited. So like, I think that first guitar being so boring kind of drove me to the glammy, brightest, snazziest, in-your-face, shot out of CC DeVille's butt, looking pink and green things that I've ever seen. So those early guitars are probably my most prized, and I still have them, love them, play them. And as far as that Gunslinger goes, I have about 70 of them now. So I really should have bought that gray one back then.
Wow.
I love those.
And talk about that Loch Ness green gem that he bought, that third guitar that he bought. That's one that I used to stare at when I was in college. Pretty much the same one at the same music store, in fact.
It was a Focus.
Focus 2.
Focus 2 in Comac.
Yep. Crazy.
Wow.
Small world.
For Michael Collings, who's asking, who's our guest tonight? My name is John, or Jonathan Mankuta. I'm a TV actor. I was on Lost, Hollywood Treasure, Veep. I did some voices for Marvel Super Squad. Basically a TV actor schmuck that collects a lot of guitars and is just passionate about guitars and comic books. So
his car broke down in front of my house and needed to use the phone.
This is the only way he'd let me use the phone. I still am waiting to call AAA. I got to get out of here. and now he just signed off. He's like, I don't want to see this moron. I'll come back next week. Oh no, he's still there. He's still there. He's still there. Okay. Where do I keep all those guitars? 4 different locations. I'm bi-coastal, which is I go from New York and Los Angeles. I'm from New York originally, and I shoot stuff in Hollywood, so I live in Hollywood. And I also have at my girlfriend's and my best friend's house. I store some because it does take up a lot of room, and I play them all. So anywhere I go, you know, I like to have guitars near me.
Yeah.
Your dad's from the Bronx, huh, Shauna Marie? Yeah, let me tell you something. My mom's from the Bronx, and my dad's from Brooklyn. So shout out to Shauna Marie Sings.
Awesome. Awesome. You want to start opening some guitar?
Let's bring out the first guitar I brought tonight for show and tell. You guys into it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me reach out.
You know, we have 77 people watching. Let's get some thumbs up for Jonathan.
Oh, that's usually I get the other finger.
Yeah, no, we don't.
And that's for my mom. That's for my mom, unfortunately. Did you eat well? Oh, did you have a salad? Oh, no, you had hot dogs. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah. Let's see what we got.
What a treat.
Yeah. We're really lucky he broke down in front of your house, man.
I got to tell you, you know, I get all the luck this way.
Yeah, all bad. So I see our ratings are plummeting. Geez, it's like the stock market a week ago. Okay, so back in the day, I loved a band that was often compared to Bon Jovi because of the lineup of a guitarist and a keyboard, and they were Danger Danger. And again, I'm a child of the 80s, so it's all glam and metal and rock for me. And Andy Timmons, I thought, was an amazing player. I saw them live. He's terrific. And I wound up becoming friends with those guys. And I bought a few of Andy's guitars. This is one of them. This was a gift to him from Kramer. This is a Kramer Beretta with a Flintstones graphic. You'd see that. And the joke on the bottom is it says rock concert. It's Fred playing guitar and Barney on drums. And it's a one-of-a-kind graphic from Klein, although I know he did recreate it for someone else as well. But this was a gift to Andy Timmons from Kramer because he always played the Flintstones theme in a lot of his solos. So I'm proud to have this. It's neon pink on the back, which is my color. Neon pink, I have probably a quarter of my guitars in neon pink. Mm-hmm. And this was Andy, so I'm going to hand it over to David to check out.
Oh, wow.
Just a fun graphic, you know. Again, the 80s. Everything was about fun.
It looks like it just came out of the factory.
I take really good care of them. I play them, but they're maintained. They're not beaten. You know, God. They get played in a living room, not a stage. So,
all right. So this is an '87, I believe.
89.
Is it 88? Is it 89?
Yeah, it's a sustainer. So it was like pretty much the last thing that Kramer did was this great neck pickup.
Yeah.
It's a Floyd Rose sustainer, and what it is, it has a magnet in it that when you flip the switch, it vibrates it to keep the note going. And it's like a Sustainiac. You could just hold that note forever, and it's just a lot of fun. And again, I saw Danger Danger live back in the day, so to have a guitar of Andy's is a treat. And he's with Ibanez now, but you know, the old Kramer went bye-bye, so what do you do? So I love old Kramers. I think they're great.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Steve Anderson, Kramer Sustainer.
Yeah, we've got a friend of ours looking for a Kramer Sustainer right now.
Todd Soda Pop asked, what did Andy use it in? Basically, it wasn't one of his main touring guitars, but he brought it around, and he basically had, for that solo where he played the Flintstones, he played it a bunch of times, so it just kind of fit in. So that was fun.
And if you look closely, Fred Flintstone is playing what could be a Kramer Spectre guitar with a Floyd Rose on it, because it's a Les Paul shape.
Hey, Fred, is that a Spectre guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bon. Yeah, so.
That's so funny, because the pickup is slanted, one volume, and a Floyd. Yeah.
And yeah, Danger Danger is just a great band.
I love Danger.
They still come around. They still play around.
Man.
Sometimes with Andy, sometimes not. What's interesting is a lot of people don't know Tony Bruno played on that original album. If you remember Tony Bruno, he was the guitarist of Soraya, another really, really great band back in the day, Sandy Soraya. And Tony didn't join Danger Danger. So the record company said, okay, who do we know? And they basically knew Andy as a studio player and said, well, this guy's really good. And they were right, because Andy really is good. And there you go. So that's one of Andy's.
Amazing.
Old Kramer, neon pink, 80s cartoon graphic. That's as 80s as you could really get. I mean, I love this type of fun stuff, you know? This is just a good time.
I got a rock.
That's awesome.
Naughty, naughty. That's right. Let's see. Am I a fan of Vito Bratta? Yeah. Vito kind of blows me away, because this was one guy, just a really amazing player that just kind of walked away from the scene. He just kind of had no interest in staying into it. And even when like a lot of, you know, 80s things came back, like you see all these now, these tours and these reunions and these big shows and these cruises, these rock of the 80s cruises and things like that. And Vito just is like, no, I'm okay. I think he owns a restaurant or something now, something like that. But really underrated player, Vito Bratta. I don't have anything of his, but I like his stuff for sure.
Awesome. Well, where do you go from there? Where do you go from that?
I don't.
Forget it. Jay, you're missing it. You're missing it, pal.
Wow. So, really quick, is that a that is a Kramer Sustainer, right?
Yeah, it's a Kramer Sustainer. Yes.
That's what it actually is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. And with that custom, it's a Klein with that Klein graphic.
Yeah, Dennis Klein, one of the greater painters.
Yeah,
in the 80s.
we were trying to get him on the show, and he has not answered me yet.
No,
we're Facebook friends.
Get Dan Lawrence on the show. Dan's probably one of the greatest graphics painters to this day, and he painted so many known guitars.
Yeah, you hear that, Dennis Klein? We're gonna get Dan Lawrence.
And I like Dennis. I'm friends with Dennis. So we talk on Facebook. He's a good guy, but I know he probably isn't really into, you know, making appearances and stuff. But maybe Dan is.
We'll see.
Give it a shot.
You never know.
That'd be cool.
So through the show, we'll break out. I brought 3 more pro player guitars. We'll break them out through the show.
Yeah. And I have a guitar to show as well. That's for sale if anyone is interested. So
that's cool. That's cool. Let's see. I just see.
Any more questions for Jonathan?
Mr. BHB Jr.
Is that Bruce? That's Bruce.
You're awesome, man. You're awesome. He's saying nice things about me. I really appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Really, really cool. Vito Bratta had to take care of his aging sick parents. It's a very noble thing. It really is, because I've been there and done that. I had a whole big thing years ago, back in the 90s, and there was an article written about me in Playboy magazine about this. I still have a huge collection of vintage comic books and comic book artwork worth a lot of money, and I sold a lot of it when my mother got cancer in the 90s to pay for experimental treatments that, thank God, worked. So I've been there in sacrificing for parents. So that's a good point about Vito Bratta. Very, very cool thing to do.
That's very cool. Dennis Brazalt asks if you sell your guitar, your gear on Reverb. Do you sell any gear on Reverb?
Very, very, very rare. Like, only if I buy something purposefully to flip. I just basically buy what I like anyone else. I mean, realize I'm not a pro player. Guitar is a hobby for me. I like to relax and get home. You know, I mean, I'm an actor. That's what I do. When I get home, I want to read some comics. I want to, you know, play some guitar. I just want to relax, and you know, I appreciate the guitars for them, for what they are, as basically playable artwork. So I buy exactly what I like, but once in a while you have those friends that say, hey, I need to raise up some cash, you know, do you want to buy something? And I will, and I'll, you know, for something like that, I'll turn around and flip it. So I've sold maybe like 4 guitars ever.
I know of one. I know of one. Rob Johnson, our buddy, bought the Magala Purple Kramer Pacer from you.
That is true. That is true. And that was actually one I bought for myself, but it wasn't like so important that I had to keep it. And what he was going to do with it was make an EVH purple out of it. And I know for that you kind of need an original one. So for the cause, I kind of sold that one to him, but I usually don't.
That guitar, I really wish I could have taken that one from you.
You came this close.
So close. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't pull the trigger. Couldn't do it. But, you know, there's always another guitar out there.
If anyone has any questions about Lost, I'm happy to answer them. I get asked that a lot at appearances.
Is there going to be you think a Lost
spinoff or I get asked that so often. Is there going to be another show, like a reboot? They've talked about it. I mean, I'm not important enough in main cast to get that invite, but you know, my character did survive on the island. So, but I'll tell you, if they ever did, I would absolutely fly to Hawaii and talk to Caskey and say hi. I'd love to be on this reboot and revise my role as another. So, but that's as far as that goes. But so far, no.
You need a Jewish agent?
Oh, we're all Jewish. Everyone in Hollywood's Jewish. We own the industry. What are you kidding? Yeah, I'm telling you, everyone in Hollywood.
I don't have this notes for nothing.
It's the inside club. Well, where do you think I got my Jew fro? It's yeah. Do I visit Norman's Rare Guitars? Yeah, I do. When I'm home, when I'm back in LA, yes, I like Norm's. I like Sam Ash. I like anywhere. The best
is Manny still out there? Do they still have a Manny's West?
I didn't even know of that. I mean, I remember the original Manny's on 48th. That's
where I worked there on 48th Street.
Oh my God, 48th Street. When I was a kid, I would go on 48th Street and just drool. I've never been so tempted to rob a store. And when I've gone to like 48th Street Custom or Manny's, you know, more than anyone, I wanted to be Nikki Six. Do you have a job application? And you know, bring in an empty case and just run out with something. Yeah, no, I loved 48th Street. I mean, oh my God, back in the day, it was like the Wild
East. Working there, I know. It was like the Wild West. It really was.
It was. And back in the day, music was like the Wild West. Nothing but a good time.
Yeah.
This is what I miss about the 80s music. First of all, you had all these pro players. Everyone knew how to play their guitar. Right. Some people like Randy Rhoads and EVH and Vi, they really knew how to play their guitar. And everyone was like, you know, having a good time. And it was, you know, let's drink, let's get drugs, let's get laid, let's play loud music, let's do it until 3 in the morning, let's sleep all day, and let's do it again the next night in flashy women's clothing. I was all about it, never did the drugs or the drinking, but I was very into the rest. And,
you do that now, though.
Yeah, right. That's Hollywood. No, you'd be surprised we'd get offered on movie sets. Everything. But I never do drugs. I never don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
You end up looking like this.
Yeah, that's the only reason I still have hair is I didn't do drugs. He used to do blow off of other guys' bald. No, seriously. I never got into the drinking or drug scene, but it's prevalent. But anyway, back to the 80s. But we were all, you'd go to a show, you'd watch people really play their instruments, you'd have a great time, and everyone in the parking lots was hooking up with these beautiful women. I mean, you'd go to a Poison concert, oh my God. The women in the Poison concert were just beautiful and everywhere, and it was really a great time. And then all of a sudden Nirvana came and started singing about, I'm really depressed, I'm wearing an itchy sweater, I'm looking at the ground and my guitar sucks, our women are fat and really ugly, it's really raining in Seattle. And all of a sudden everyone wanted to put a gun in their mouth. It wasn't just Kurt Cobain, everyone wanted to. So, it was, the 80s is definitely a scene that really was a lot more fun than the 90s,
Whose line is it anyway? That's awesome.
Man.
That's awesome. This is an actor. We had a great question, by the way. Hang on. Stan Adams, how'd you get your start in acting?
This is funny. I was going to go for business law. I was really, really good at law. I was going to be a lawyer. And
a Jewish lawyer?
Yeah, no way, right? Stereotypical. I've got the gift of gab. And I was in a comic book store, and friends said, hey, we need a really tall guy for our horror movie. We're doing a B-rated horror movie. Are you interested? And I remember, like, as a kid, I had fun doing comedy skits and talent shows. So I would be like, yeah, that would be fun. Sure. So once I actually appeared, and the movie was called Depraved. It was 1995. It was a low budget movie. Probably they paid me in guitar picks. And
that's how I'm paying.
Yeah, because there was no money to even give me a lunch. So this was my pay. But that was basically it. I was in a comic shop at the right place, right time, and just, buddies came up to me, invited me to that. And once you're on a movie set, there's just something magic about it, even in a low budget one, that was just so much fun. I just wanted to do it again. So I took a lot of acting lessons at various schools and from coaches. And, again, you start paying your dues. You're doing gigs for free. I was doing featured extra work on Saturday Night Live for 6 years through a buddy of mine who got me that gig. And again, this is when I say featured extra, you see me on screen for 30 seconds, and I walk off screen with no lines. Did that for 6 years. But it teaches you to be in front of a live audience of, whatever their viewership is, 2 million or something, truly live, no delay TV. And it was fun, and it paid well, of course. And from there, you just keep working, and you make friends. And a lot of people, it's just, a lot of friendships you make. And, someone else asked, what's the nicest guy I ever worked with, greatest guys? I want to say Jack Bender, the director of Lost, was probably the coolest director I've ever worked with, and probably because Robert Altman yelled at me on his movie set, so he didn't get any bonus points from me. But Jack Bender of Lost, probably the most humble, down to earth, superstar director that I've ever worked with. Really, really nice. So that's to answer that question. And yeah, I didn't get the ending of Lost either. Just because I was on the show the last season, I didn't write it. They're just like, okay, in this scene you beat up Jack and you drag him through the jungle. Got it. You're paying me a lot of money. I'm on a major network show. You got it. But I didn't like the ending either, and I was a huge fan of that.
Rosie asked, what's your best role in your opinion?
My best role, the toilet paper roll from This Morning was the best role. It was Charmin, quilted. My best role, when you say my best role, I guess the most fun role was probably like on Lost or Veep, because they're like, big network shows. Probably the biggest thing I'm known for was probably Hollywood Treasure, because on Sci-Fi, because I was one of the principal actors for 3 years, so I get recognized a lot for that. I guess that's the answer there. Let's see.
Johnny, you have something to open?
Huh?
You have some.
Hey, wake up.
Something
I told you, this is why I warned you about. I'm putting people to sleep here.
No, you're not.
This is terrible.
Well, that's
it's
how
a
Johnny is.
disaster.
That's how Johnny is.
Every thumbs down. I'm looking at every thumbs down.
Oh.
Get Mankuta off. He's a disaster. Train wreck. What? This is horrible.
I know. I know.
Oh, and
I'm
I'm gonna throw out one real great promotion. Just there'll be a movie coming out next year called Pray For Me, Prey, and I have a role in that. It's a horror movie, so I gotta at least say something. So please watch that when it comes out. It's another low budget horror movie that for some reason attracts me. I take any gig.
I don't really like
I take any gig.
I don't like knife stabbings and killings and.
Oh no, it's not like that. It's actually a pretty cool script. It's
but Jay, our partner
stuff.
who isn't on tonight because you're on, he loves horror.
And he's a comic book fan, right?
Yeah,
I'm a huge comic book. Even right now, look at this. Fourth World Comics. I have a comic book store T-shirt on there right now. That's like my favorite store in New York. Fourth World in Smithtown. I love that place. I'll be there tomorrow morning. New comic book day.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be signing anything. I'll be paying money for my comic books.
Desiree,
Uh-huh.
Dornan, she loves horror movies.
She loves horror movies. Well, I love Desiree Dornan.
I think she loves you.
Oh, there it is. That's the first girl in my life that's ever paid attention to me, other than female officers. Do I ever go to Ricky Rackman's club? The Cat House back in the day in Los Angeles, yes, but not now. If he has anything, I love Ricky Rackman though. Dennis wants to know who maintains all my guitars. Basically, I do. I oil the board. I use was that 4-1 or 4? I forgot the name. F1 oil.
I don't know.
Is that I use an oil that's made for oiling boards. I don't like lemon oil. There's something about the citrus.
Smell?
There's something about the citrus. I don't know if it's really as good for the wood as they say, but this F1 oil is really good. So I do that, and like I just change strings. Otherwise, I've done stand-up comedy. Thank you, Stan Adams. I guess just as far as maintaining them, I do have luthiers. I have Neil Moser in Arizona. Obviously, the great Neil Moser created the BC Rich Bitch. He does a lot of work for me. I have another guy in Los Angeles, and I have a guy out here in Farmingdale when I come to New York that does stuff.
Who do you go to?
Over at Murphy's Music, John.
Great
guy, great luthier. Let's see. Bazik is a comic book nut too. Wolverine #1. Congrats. Good book. Do I ever do stand-up? I used to. It's really funny. When I was a teenager, I started doing it, and I kind of got bored with it because a lot of times you do the same set, and it's just not as fun as just kind of like riffing like we are right now. Just a little fun. But thank you. That's very, very nice of you to say. Reboot Police Academy. If I had the clout in Hollywood to reboot a property, believe me, Police Academy would definitely be on my list. Really, really a good one.
Yeah,
I loved the Police Academy movies.
That was fun. I would get that one guy that does all the voices and sounds and stuff. The helicopters. Yeah. It's like I forgot his name.
Oh, that's
You know what I'm talking about.
Winslow. Michael Winslow?
Is that his name?
I think.
Yeah, Michael Winslow.
Hilarious guy.
Yes, yeah.
I remember growing up with that guy. I mean, geez, boy, what a great property to reboot. If they're going to reboot something, I mean, they've been doing a lot of reboots in Los Angeles. So I mean, that would be like a really great one to jump on. And believe me, I would. Oh my God, if I had the opportunity. If anyone on here of the 10 people that are listening tonight, because we started off with so many and they're dropping like flies the more I talk. If anyone wants to reboot Police Academy, please give me a call, because oh my God, would I love to be part of that property? Oh my God, I like work. Michael Winslow. Yes,
I also like the Leslie Nielsen movies.
Oh my God, Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just so brilliant. This is like basic, not politically correct stuff. I don't like political correctness.
Neither do I.
I really don't. I mean, look, I'm all for just to be serious for 1 second, I do think that, you know, the Me Too movement has an important place in today's society. I do agree with, you know, a lot of things about it. But what I don't agree is when people take that and run with it to go a little further in finding politically correct stuff. Like, you know, they're jumping on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer now, saying, well, that's promoting bullying. And that song, Baby It's Cold Outside.
Oh my God! Did you see Vic? What the hell's his last name?
Well, they're jumping on a lot of things politically correct. That, you know, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is racist because Franklin's the only one on the left side of the table. I mean, look, I joked about it, you know, for years. I always said, hey, look at this Thanksgiving table. Why is that one black kid the only guy on that side of the table, and everyone's on the other side crowded around? But that was a joke. I mean, there are people that are really, 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 there you go. There are people that are really, really taking it seriously and saying, oh, you know, Charles Schultz was a racist. Charles Schultz was not a racist. Baby It's Cold Outside was not a rape-enabling song. And for gosh sakes, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, people, get a grip. Get a grip. It's a Christmas classic. And if anything, he overcomes the bullying. Come on.
Yeah. Besides, he's cute.
He's cute. She thinks I'm cute. Yeah, no, I love all that stuff. I mean, this was a simpler time when this stuff wasn't being looked at as kind of silly, you know.
Oh,
but yeah, it's gotten a little over politically correct. We've swung a little far the other way.
Yeah.
So thank you, Shauna Marie Sings. You're my new favorite person on tonight. She totally agrees with me about this crazy stuff. See, a woman who agrees with me.
I agree with you too.
Yeah, but you're not a woman.
I don't have big boobs.
Well,
Johnny, don't you have something to open?
I do.
Well, open one of them.
I do. Should we see it?
Come on, I brought goodies.
Come on.
You open stuff.
This
is your show.
Okay, this is from who's this from? Kelly.
I guess Kelly's a listener.
A watcher?
Kelly LaBaca.
Is Kelly in here?
I haven't seen him.
Oh, this is really taped up.
Knife.
Oh.
Knife. Use a knife. A box cutter.
This is really great.
An envelope cutter.
Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
Let's see. Oh, cool.
What do you got?
Here it is.
Is it my dignity? I've been looking for it. What is that?
Right there.
It's a Floyd Rose Allen key.
It's like an Allen key that's
a long
super,
one. That's
super
great.
long. Yeah, super long.
Oh, that's great. Man, I could use that. Yeah, I'm still using the L's, and it's like trying to get in there without scratching the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got a bunch of those in here somewhere. Yeah.
I wish it was at his house. He's got a bunch of them. I could tell for all his stuff.
I have a couple.
I'd go through his parts box.
Hang on, I've got some right here. You can have.
Oh,
I've got some.
Well, the L ones I have. I don't have a long one.
Oh,
like
I got a long one too.
I wish I had a long one. It's a long-standing problem of my genetics. So. I just disappointed Shauna and Desiree. Everyone just like suddenly turned off.
Well, hey, Kelly, thank you so much, man. Thank you.
I think it's time for you to show off another guitar.
Is it that time?
I think
do you guys at home want to see another guitar I brought? So this will be number 2 out of 4 that I brought. Another celebrity guitar.
Wow. Yeah, we're already an hour into it.
The board lit up with thumbs up. Yes.
And Jay, looks like Jay is going to join us any minute now.
Jay, yeah.
He's got to save the show from the doom I'm bringing it. People have fallen asleep at home. Okay, so here's guitar. Whoopsie. Here's guitar guest number 2. So I know, I really hoped you liked the first one because the second one also belongs to Andy Timmons, or well, belongs to me, but it used to belong to Andy Timmons. Not to be repetitious, but this was one that I wanted to show David, so I brought it over. Andy Timmons had two Kramer sustainers made in hollow flash, which at the time was a very new process that Kramer was doing in 1989-90 when they were just about to go bankrupt. And hollow flash, for those that don't know, takes a hologram paper, they melt it onto the finish of the guitar, and then they clear coat over it, and it gives it this amazing hologram-looking finish. And Andy had one done in the standard black, and then custom requested that one be done in blood red. So this, I actually, when I first saw Danger Danger live, this was the guitar that Andy was playing on stage. So to me, this is very sentimental. So let's see if you could get a good look at this at home. You see how the light goes with the holograms?
Yeah.
And on stage, you can imagine what that looks like under stage lights. It's pretty freaking amazing. And again, it's a Kramer sustainer. Really nifty toy. See, under this room light, unfortunately, it looks mostly silver, but it's got purple and pink and green and yellow. I mean, just under stage lights, this thing beams. And you saw one of these, the black one, in the Naughty Naughty video that Danger Danger did.
Right, right.
Give that a try.
Oh, man.
Really, really
and the neck on this
great neck on that.
ridiculous.
It's really, really broken in, which is, you know, just a great feeling when necks are broken in like that. I love when a guitar has like some real wear.
This is like real player wear.
I remember when the show ended, I walked up to the stage and I saw Andy's tech polishing the front of that, and he said he did that every night so that, you know, Andy's sweat or any fingerprints did not, you know, show up on the finish. And clearly, it was really, really well taken care of. I got that directly from Andy, who again loved his playing, and you could just feel that, right?
You know what he or his tech did also?
Go ahead.
Sanded down the volute.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point. It's smooth as glass. It's lightly rounded. Show that. Let's see if we can.
Because back in the late '80s,
right over here,
there would be a volute here.
There's still a volute, but you can see it's not as pronounced. It's kind of rounded, smooth. But yeah, that's a really good point. And it's like butter. I mean, this thing plays amazing.
By the way, Jonathan J.
I was hoping that nobody noticed because the show was doing so well and so smooth.
Oh, listen, man, I'm sinking you like a torpedo. Believe me, this battleship's going down thanks to me. I'm so sorry.
Jonathan, it's awesome, man. It's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, brother.
So keep going. Don't mind me. I just want to see these guitars. It's awesome. So.
Didn't you have a Captain America shield in your room, or one of you guys did, right?
Not me.
That's Mark.
Mark does. Yeah.
That's Mark.
Tone Talk.
Oh, okay, okay.
Tone Talk. He's got one. Yeah.
My bad. That's not. That's the wrong show.
I have the alien. He has the Captain America shield.
Okay. All right. I'll take the alien. That's cool. I'm a sci-fi buff.
That's right, man.
Nice. So what do you think? Do you like Andy Timmons, Jay? Or
yeah, and I've never seen that. That is an awesome finish. That's really cool.
He toured this all over. Like I said, I saw that guitar live the first time I saw Danger Danger, and I was mesmerized by it on stage. I thought it was one of the coolest guitars I'd ever lay his eyes on. And when Andy sold it to me, it was like, all right, thank you, brother. That's great.
Here's another fun fact. Where else have you ever seen a factory custom red Kramer anything? Factory like blood red. That was ordered by Andy. He even wrote that in a note to me with the guitar that they only made hollow flashes in black, and then he ordered a red one. Now there's a rumor that after he ordered his, that other people also ordered one or two, but it hasn't been substantiated. And according to some of the old Kramer employees, they say no, but who knows? Never say never in the 80s. And this guitar also is in immaculate condition.
And you also notice that both Andy and CC DeVille and a few other guys also taped right under the bottom of the pickups because, you know, strings catching on there seemed to be a common problem with a lot of players.
Yeah.
CC DeVille, I own a bunch of his guitars. He also had this on a couple, and Andy and but there you go. Ooh, pretty color, pretty color. I hope you guys are
I'm actually gonna rewatch this show.
I'm gonna try to drink and forget that I destroyed it. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna take up drinking when I get home. So that's guitar number 2, and we have 2 other guitars, not Andy Timmons, but pro players from the 80s coming up later in the show. So hopefully you'll stick around and tolerate my nonsense.
Do you guys know if anybody can make a finish like that, or if anybody does do finishes like that nowadays?
Mean Street Guitars does that finish really well, but it's different than the process they used to do it, because they used to do it with a very heavy clear coat that they don't now. Now they use a lot lighter clear coat and a slightly different method of applying the hollow flash. So, you know, as far as that goes, Mean Street Guitars does the best current version of that today.
That's super cool.
You can't tell them. You can't tell the difference.
Jay, there's a guitar coming up that I haven't seen in over 20 years that you are going to lose your...
Well, you don't want to lose that, but...
Oh, my God.
Forget it.
Maybe
Forget it, dude.
I remember that noise.
It just happens less often as you get older, right?
The last time I heard that noise was a moil.
Oh, ow. All right.
With my 80s pink scarf.
So what else we got? Jay, how you been?
I've been good. I did not. One of the reasons if I could talk anything. One of the reasons I almost didn't come in is because I'm like, I was watching and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to come in here and all of a sudden the flow
associated.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
This way, when you all the FCC fines and things like that come down, because I wasn't on that. That
comes from Johnny anyway, so doesn't matter to me.
Jay, now you're a part of the problem, man.
I'm used to it.
Accessory.
Yeah.
After the fact. That's right.
Accessory.
Real quick, just FYI, this is going to sound like such a bitchy move on my part. For those of you typing my name, it's confusing to me because my name is Jon. It's the same way Bon Jovi spells it. I see a lot of people commenting, "Get John off, he's terrible." John. So if you're going to type horrible things, please Jon, so I know it's me you're yelling at. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, thank you for the nice words. Those of you that are typing stuff, that's really sweet. I really appreciate that. That's really nice. Thank you,
Janice. I'm glad you're enjoying the pics that I gave you.
What were they pics of?
those
wouldn't you like to know?
Those D pics. Did you ever see those? They make those little guitar picks that have the word Dick on it. Dick is in Richard, not Fowler.
Yeah.
I think it's really funny. It's like, hey, you want a dick pic?
Oh, I'm sure somebody with that name that plays guitar probably.
Johnny, there's a wolf behind you. There's a wolf behind you. Be really careful, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
He's hungry.
Wolfgang?
He looks hungry.
He's tame. He's very tame. There he is. His name's Howie, actually.
Hey, Howie. I have a huge weakness for dogs. I immediately came into David's house and his dog was there, and I immediately just started petting it, and within a minute I'm making out with the dog. I really have a huge weakness for dogs. It's so cute.
Yeah. This is Howie the Dalmatian.
Hey, Howie.
Right here.
The most rockin' Dalmatian alive.
And he is.
He's a cute dog. Really nice.
Ben asked if you have any celebrity amps.
I don't. I'm such a weak person with amp because I'm such a crappy player. I hate to hear myself. No, I have basically one Marshall JCM 800, one GK MLK 250, and a few other little amps just that I take on travel and stuff, like the sets and stuff. But I don't have any great amps. No other fun amps. Facebook. I am on Facebook. If anyone here wants to insult me there, I'm Jonathan Mankuta. That's Mankuta. And I'm pretty good with approving friend requests because I have so much spam. I have friends in Bangladesh and friends that say, "Do you want to watch me on cam?" And I mean, I have so many. I approve just everyone. So yeah,
that's where I learned. By the way,
I need friends. I really need friends. I mean, I have nobody. I mean,
everybody's watching us on cam right now, right?
Yeah.
And thank you, Todd. Pink scarves are like my thing. I've gone to like really good. I went to the Entertainment Weekly party the last few years. I would love a hot chocolate.
Hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa. Yeah, no, I went to the Entertainment Weekly party 3 years in a row at Comic-Con, and everyone's dressed to the nines and these really great outfits and all these high-end things, and the girls are in gowns, and there I am in a t-shirt, shorts, and my pink scarf, and they're like, "Who's that?" "Oh, that's Mankuta." That's okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I'm happy to be friends with anyone. That's cool. So for sure. Thank you. Let's see. Shauna writes, she has a teeny tiny chihuahua that's deaf and blind. Shauna, that's a beanbag. That's a beanbag. That's not a dog. That's a beanbag. But hey, if you know, I love animals, so that works. You'll never worry about her running away. Have I ever worked with an actor that I ended up not getting along with? Very rare. I'm usually real. I try to be really good to work with on set because usually I'm the nobody on set. You know, it's like I've worked with some really big names.
You want milk or water? You want
this is how much of a nobody I am. Even when I'm like broadcasting, it's like, hey, stupid. Do you want milk? Do you want water? What do you want? What do you want?
Do you want your hot chocolate with milk or water?
Milk, please.
Half and half.
Half it. Yeah, breast milk. Get it right from the goat.
Only the finest Cambodian breast milk.
They're bringing a goat out right now from the backyard to give me some milk. Yeah, no, I'm usually really good to work with. There was one person, I'm not going to mention her name. I was doing background work on All My Children back in the day. I was a drug addict, not in real life, but on All My Children, I played a drug addict, and there was one woman, a main cast member. I'll just say she has a British accent. I'll leave it at that. And she exploded on set because one of the extras missed their mark and walked off time. And it was just embarrassing because I felt bad. She's yelling at extras. And you know what? There have been times I've been like the principal main actor on a set, and there have been times I've been the lowest piece of furniture on a set. And no matter what, you want to be nice. You want to be nice to everyone on set, from the wire guys to the craft service people to the camera guys. You want to be nice because it's nice to be nice. So, you know, to that woman who was, you know, a star at the time and now she's pretty much nobody, you know, you reap what you sow. That's all I could say.
And make sure you're nice to the key grip.
Yeah, I'm nice to everybody. I'm the guy that's like, can I help you reel the wire in? Can I help you with the boom? Can I help you log down? They're like, that's not your job. I'm like, not trying to step on the union's toes, but you know, you look like you want to go to lunch and you need help. I have no problem doing that stuff, if allowed. If not, they send me back to my trailer and they're like, hey, stupid, you're in our way. You're in our way. You're hindering us. We can't get to lunch because of you. Get out. You know, but that's it. Yeah, no, that's usually everyone's really nice to work with, you know, usually. Do I own any Neil Sean Les Pauls? I don't, but I have a couple of Norlin years. No, it wasn't Susan Lucci. She's actually the nicest person in the world, and she's about this big. You could stick her in your shirt pocket and carry her around, and she's adorable. No, it wasn't Susan Lucci. She, again, someone with a British accent. I'll leave it that way.
Yeah, don't ask.
No more of that question, but just yes, there was one person that, you know, not a nice person. Oh, wait, one more. I'm going to be a bitch. I'm going to say something. Lindsay Lohan. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna publicly say that. I'm sorry, but yeah, Lindsay Lohan. Not that she wasn't nice. She's arrogant and she's very inconsiderate of anyone else on a set. And I'm only saying that because it was the set of Prairie Home Companion that I had some extra work in, and everyone on that set, from Lily Tomlin to Woody Harrelson to Tommy Lee Jones to what's her name? That's always Meryl Streep. All these people were really nice to work with, and she literally held up production because she was hanging out with her friends and coming in late every day to set. And I'm only saying it because it was public knowledge that the director put in the newspaper a big full-page ad that you are about to let go of this production if you don't get your stuff straight. And that's the only reason I'm speaking out of school right now for that. But I just want to confirm that's not a rumor. If you remember that from years ago, that was
it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was there.
You know what else I'd like a reboot of?
Nothing.
Spaceballs.
That's a class. You can't reboot Mel Brooks stuff.
It's already found good. Shit.
It's already good. It's already perfect.
That's the best line of the movie.
What they want to redo is they want to reboot Blazing Saddles, but they want to cast an Asian girl as the black sheriff, and they want to make it really politically correct. The sheriff is a African American. What? The sheriff is African American. Excuse me? That's what I remember that scene. Yeah, no, they're not gonna redo Mel Brooks stuff. Mel Brooks stuff was perfect.
Yeah. There's so much, like you just basically said, there's so much stuff in those movies that you couldn't touch nowadays. I mean, I was gonna say something funny about the Rudolph thing, but you already touched on it. So
train wreck. Oh no, geez, I'm still a train wreck. Nothing's getting better. Oh, Lindsay. You mean Lindsay? Okay, thank you, Jim. No, I thought it was another insult on
Amanda Coombs is Ben Coombs' sister, by the way. We were talking about.
Oh, that's cool.
You said you wanted to kiss.
Oh,
Ben.
That was.
Yeah.
She's the one you. Yeah.
I want to kiss Amanda. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mongo likes Sheriff Bart. Yeah, Gene Wilder, the great Gene Wilder, all that stuff. I want to put something to the audience. What do you guys think was the best reboots out there? My vote goes to Battlestar Galactica because I think it was incredible. Like,
incredible.
The
2004 with
yes, that one.
Edward James Olmos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was.
I thought that was the most amazing show in the world. But I want to put it out to you guys. What else do you guys like that was rebooted? I'm just curious. Good night, Desiree.
Oh man, movie or show?
TV show.
Oh.
You know what? We'll open it up to movies just to kind of get the audience
I'm going to say
interested.
In TV shows, I'm going to say Magnum.
Magnum PI. You like the new Magnum PI?
I do.
I
do.
I haven't watched it, but my dad was pooping all over it.
Okay. Well, if you haven't watched it, you can't say anything about it.
Admittedly, I lived in Hawaii for a year where that's filmed for Lost, and it's beautiful over there, and I probably like half the people on that show. So I'm going to say I love it, even though I haven't seen it. A lot of my friends probably.
It's really great. It's there are some similarities, and it's got its own thing. It's really good.
Let's see. Micahs himself says Planet of the Apes. I gotta back him up on that one. The new ones. The new ones you haven't seen?
Nope.
What about you guys? Jay, John?
Oh, that's so tough, man.
Have you seen the Planet of the Apes movies? The new series? I think they're great.
I haven't seen the newest one. I saw the one 10 years ago or whatever.
The first one the first new movie that came out, but that was how many years ago now? 15 years ago?
Well, there was one by who did that first one? Not that one, but there was like two reboots of the first movie, I think. One was who the heck did it? Can you Google that real quick? There was a Planet of the Apes reboot, and that wasn't very good. And then there was the second Planet of the Apes, and then the sequels that have been going recently, and they're really, really good.
Planet Apes 2001.
Yeah, that one was terrible. Tim Burton.
That's probably the one that I saw.
Thank you, old man Dan. Tim Burton did that one. That was not good. And then the ones that followed, they rebooted the reboot, and all of a sudden they're really taking it seriously, and they're really, really terrific.
Yeah.
Really good.
Man, I don't know how you got that so fast, because
Well, so I'm looking at the audience. The audience told me. It looked like the Kobayashi Maru. I cheat.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Batman Dark Knight series. I thought the first two were great, and then that last one with Bane was just abysmal.
The new Halloween reboot was
Halloween?
It was
Is that the one with Jamie Lee Curtis? The new one?
The one that came out, what, a couple months ago in October?
Yeah. That was just okay?
It was okay.
I liked when they did H2O. Remember H2O?
Mm-hmm.
It like cut out like 7 movies. It went from 1 to cut out 7 movies, then they went to H2O.
Well, the new one is literally they cut out every single movie except for the first one. It goes from the first one to the new one, and it skips everything else. It's basically like just 40 years after that first night.
See, that's the second movie kind of goes perfectly with the first, and I thought that was really good.
Yeah, because it happens right after.
No, like immediately after, like 1 minute after the last one ended.
Yep.
It's like
he goes to the hospital, and then he comes rolling in.
Oh, Brendan, please don't tell me you were actually in the third one. Were you really? Season of the Witch?
Wait, in the third? What?
Is that real, Brendan?
Rises.
Is that real? Oh, Brendan was in Dark Knight Rises.
Really?
Is that the third one?
I'm sorry, Brendan. One of my buddies was a cop in Dark Knight Rises too.
Uh-oh.
That's Buttcheeks. Brendan Buttcheeks.
Yeah, Brendan Buttcheeks.
Brendan Buttcheeks was actually in Dark Knight Rises. What were you, a cop, or what were you?
I'm a cop, you idiot.
I'm Detective John Kimball. Hey, I'm a police officer.
I love it. Oh.
It's funny how everyone a thug. Okay. Oh, you might have fought one of my friends. One of my friends was a cop. My friend Carlos.
That's awesome.
Get back to the cop.
Like the
Casino Royale. That thank you, Fest, Eddie Van Halen. Casino Royale. That really was a great reboot. That really put James Bond back on the map. That was a really good one. I have to agree.
Man, good stuff.
Does anybody else, when they see Royale spelled like that and looked like that, do they think of Royale with cheese?
Well, with cheese, yeah, I think the same thing. There's so many quotes from Pulp Fiction you could love. Do you mind if I have some of your frosty beverage to wash my mouth? I love that. Hey, speaking of wet, frosty beverage
down the street or whatever.
I got hot chocolate.
Ooh.
Fresh from the goat's teat.
Oh, my fiance a goat?
No. Is this from her teat?
Certainly hope not.
Did you put mini marshmallows in the hot cocoa?
We don't have marshmallows.
Well, this is a ghetto cocoa. It's the ratchet cocoa if it doesn't have marshmallows. No, it's actually good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Straight out of the hood, yo.
I think I'm the only person left in the world that says thank you, please, and those words. Does anyone else still say that?
No.
It's not in vogue anymore, so everyone's like, where's my cocoa?
I would thank you to please go get another guitar.
Is now the time to...
Now's the time, because we have about half hour left in the broadcast.
Okay. Guitar number 3 coming up.
Should I get it ready?
Did you what?
Should I get it ready? Should I unzip now? Or
No. That guitar is going to be last, because that's going to blow up the whole show.
By the way, when you said unzip, I wanted to remind everyone that's usually how I get these guitars from these players. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. That's how I get rolls. That's how I get guitars.
I got rolls in the fridge.
You got rolls in your belly. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so
Lillian, get me a pistol.
celebrity guitar number 3 tonight. For those of you guys that remember another glam band that I remember really well, with an amazing guitarist that I also think is very underrated, and it's confirmed that he was underrated because he's been a go-to guy in Def Leppard over the last few years. And the guitarist was Steve Brown of the band Trickster. And for those of you guys that liked and remember the band Trickster, I being one of them who really liked them, on their album cover was another Kramer Hollow Flash. So I am really, really, really happy to present this, which was the Kramer Night Swan Hollow Flash that was on the cover of the first Trickster album.
Oh my God, I have that CD.
Everyone has that CD. It's a great CD. It's a great CD.
I remember. Yes, I remember that cover.
This one was held by Steve Brown in a really cool position. He's kind of going like, like one of those.
Yeah.
And, this came to me. I went on a quest for this guitar. You notice it's signed right now on the front by the whole band, which I'm not usually into signatures, but this one has a cool story behind it. I looked for this guitar for years, and Steve told me that it was gifted to an executive over at MTV years ago, like back in the early 90s, as a thank you for having them in such strong rotation in music videos. And what it was is, I said, well, geez, how am I going to find that person now? And I asked another buddy of mine in the movie industry. I said, hey, that's it. Go back to that one.
Yeah, that's the guitar.
That's the guitar.
Come on,
There you go.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Hang on.
Hang
I got
power save on. 1 sec. Let me turn that off.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see that Trickster album cover.
I'm zooming in on him.
Go a little further back. That's the guitar. There it is right here. That's this. So very cool. Thank you, bro.
That is so awesome. You have that guitar.
So what wound up happening is I talked to a buddy of mine who, again, he's a movie director. And I said, hey, do you know anyone that worked in, I was half joking. Do you know anyone that worked at MTV in the 90s? He's like, yeah, my buddy used to be one of the executives over there. I said, really? Well, ask him if he knows about this guitar. And I showed him a photo. He's like, yeah, he owns that guitar. I said, excuse me? He said, I know the guy who owns that guitar. Are you really looking for it? I said, yeah. Within an hour, I had a phone call with the guy, and he said, yeah, we can work a deal for it. And lo and behold, here it is from the great Steve Brown of Trickster, now of Def Leppard. There you go.
Now, the funny thing about that is the actual album cover is a drawing of it. Here's
on the back
yeah,
is an
the
artist,
actual real picture.
On the back is an artist depiction of it from Neil Adams. And on the front...
But the funny thing is, if when you look at the actual drawing, looks like he has like a 37 fret guitar.
Well, the Night Swan necks, it has the fret markers that kind of ping pong up and down.
That's awesome, man.
That's cool. That's cool. By the way, that a lot of the guys at home, guys and girls at home, are Trickster fans because they see a lot of you are chiming in. That's very cool.
Oh, I got made fun of for having that CD, man.
Listen, I got made fun of for having long hair, for wearing pink, for liking hair bands, and the Hollow Flash finishes for me, that were played by the guys in Trickster and Danger Danger and Enough's Enough were like one of
my favorite bands.
A really, really great looking guitar, from back in the day. So I was all about it.
But did you have the Reebok high top sneakers to go along?
I was wearing boots. I mean, I had black leather and snake skin and crazy boots. I had fringed everything. I mean, you name it, I had it. I was like a glam's glam, but all that mattered was I had a lot of girlfriends. That's all that mattered. You can laugh at me all you want for my pink. I'm sharing this this scarf with my girlfriend. So it's
and her girlfriend.
I'll tell you guys that this is yet another guitar where the neck is so worn in.
He played everywhere with that. They toured the world with that guitar.
This neck feels like it's been played for.
Do that faster, Dave.
Huh?
Do that faster.
No. Do that faster later.
So yeah, so Neil Adams drew the back cover. Neil Adams, the comic book artist, drew the back cover of the Trickster album. Trickster being named after a Flash comic book supervillain, because I'm that geeky to know that. And the band, when they gave it over to the MTV exec, they all signed it, and they wrote the band name Trickster. And here's PJ Farley, here's Steve, here's Pete Loren, and here's Gus, the drummer.
Gus.
Yeah, I know. I kind of want. I really like him, and I really want him to re-sign the back of it so I could wipe that off the front. Because it just stands out. It's like Gus. It's Gus.
That's the one that sticks out is just Gus, right?
Yeah.
There on the top horn.
He's a really cool dude, though. I really like him, and he's a good drummer too.
What makes this really cool, other than the fact that the guitar that it is that normal Night Swans have two humbuckers, one in the bridge and one here in the middle. And this one was custom done for Steve with a single coil in the neck.
Yeah, and remember, Vivian Campbell designed these with Buddy Blaze. And I don't know why. I don't like middle pickups because it gets in the way of my picking style. But I really like the way that this one has a nice open space there to play and a little neck pickup, which is actually a rail pickup. So it's actually a stacked humbucker in a rail position. But it's again, these are pieces of 80s history that I have an appreciation for. I lived through, and I just love this stuff. I try to keep that spirit alive.
It's amazing. Absolutely another amazing guitar.
So I hope you guys at home are enjoying seeing that.
Hell yeah. This is awesome. Yeah. Like I said, I was having as much fun watching this show tonight.
It's awesome. Listen, after they get done with the ratings, believe me, it's the last show. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have bombed this show.
We threaten every time that this is the last one. It's
amazing. 78 people still watching. It's unbelievable.
I don't understand. I mean, they must be my relatives or someone that's trying to find me to pay the money.
Johnny, you have something else to open, don't you?
Johnny, it's your turn. Play show and tell.
Huh?
What? You opened something already?
Yeah. What do you mean already? It's almost 10 o'clock.
What did I miss you opening something?
It was from Kelly.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
The Allen.
Kelly Allen?
No. Kelly.
Oh, Alan Kelly. Alan Kelly. That's right.
Yeah, well, I have something else, but it's for me. It's not.
Oh.
You can't see.
So you'll do an unboxing later?
I'll do it. I'll do it just to do it. But it's
Jay, how's your box?
My box is hot.
I can't wait to see that box. John, if you pop out a My Pillow, I'm Mike Lindell from My Pillow. I fill up these rags with bunches of crap and sell them to you as the best pillow ever.
My Pillow. I heard an interview with that guy on the radio one time, and it was pretty interesting.
You know why? Because he had enough money to buy his own radio station. He made a fortune. He made a fortune filling those things with garbage. Believe me.
Well, I'm a Mets fan, and I always hear that ad during the commercials of the Mets games on the radio broadcast. Always.
Oh, you know who hears those ads? My father. My father is the original. I will buy anything and everything on an infomercial. We have My Pillow. We have every juicer. We have you name it from an infomercial. We have it. A pillow topper, certain saucepans that don't stick. You name it. Everything except the one infomercial that would help. I'm buying gold from Rosalind Capital. That's the one thing he hasn't bought. Something that's actually worth money. Everything else, we have it at my parents' house. Yeah.
Was it the Jack Lane juicer? Is that the one? Were his eyebrows like?
He's got the ones that make soup. He's got the ones that what was his name? Richard Simmons used to push. Piping hot soup. Oh, he's got everything. Everything.
That's one of the funny scenes from Whose Line Is It Anyway when he was on.
It's
Old Dickie Simmons.
He was doing lines at that time.
Mike as himself says, Dave, this hands down is the best show you guys ever did. I think I agree with you. Thank you very much.
That's really nice of you to lie about it. You're such a good liar. Thank you. That's so sweet.
No, this is it. This is the last show, you guys. We're done.
Is definitely the last show.
We're done.
Yeah. Oh, the Eddie Van Halen? Yeah, we don't need him anymore.
I'm so sorry. I've torpedoed. You know what's really funny? If any of you guys are comic book geeks, I was interviewed in the last issue of Wizard Magazine. Do you remember Wizard Magazine? They did a big interview with me, and it was the last issue. And Rob Liefeld, the guy who created Deadpool, he's a friend of mine. He calls me up, and he's like, "You destroyed Wizard Magazine. You were the last guy they interviewed. That was it. It went from like 2 million distribution to 5, and they were all you. Nobody bought the issue. They went out of business. This is what I'm doing to your radio show. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, it's
all right.
It's all
That's
good.
5 more than we had before.
5 to 2 million.
my mom's calling in right now. Oh, honey, don't talk about your father. He's so embarrassed already.
Don't bring up his diarrhea.
Oh,
his roids. Don't mention his roids. Gotcha, Ma. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'll show you what I got. Like I said, this is just for me. This has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, is that pocket? Okay.
No.
Not that latex.
Oh, it's a Stanley.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a cold pine.
I needed one of these. I needed one, so I got one.
It's Stanley Roper from the Ropers.
Yeah.
It's one of those flashlights that looks like a thing.
He just died by that.
That's what I thought. The creator of the flashlight?
No, Stanley.
Oh, Stanley Roper. Okay. The guy who created SpongeBob just died. That's terrible. 57. He was so rich. I mean, geez. I hope he has a daughter I can mooch off of. Because that's some legacy, boy. I'll tell you. You create SpongeBob, boy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We were talking about that recently.
Well, he died recently, so I hope you weren't talking about before he died, because if he listened to the show, he'd be really upset. He had a heart attack. He heard it, and he had a heart attack. And
he was our guest at the time.
It was after. It was after. Yeah. And I was telling them that I actually, John, I'll tell you some. Once we're off the air, I'll tell you some other stuff. But
about flashlights?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna ask about that. No.
Hey, listen, I've got more of those than I have guitars.
Are any of them hollow flashlights?
Yeah, right.
Are any of them striped?
I have pencil sharpeners for my own size. Anthony wants to know if I have what amps I play through. Real quick, Anthony, rewind to the first 15 minutes of the show. I have JCM 800, Marshall, GK ML250, and a couple of other solid state subs. But those are my two main ones. I just love those classic 80s sounds.
So now you don't have to rewind.
There you go. I just saved you from listening to more crap out of my mouth. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is the worst thing I've done all time. I'm so sad. I promise. Now, what do you do the show weekly?
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. So everyone here is
hourly,
which is okay. And I promise next 2 weeks when I'm not here, it will be so much better. I promise you.
No, we're just going to stop after the show because we can't top it. So what's the point, you know?
You certainly can't go any lower. It's like I bring the bar to a whole new level of like the Curb, you know? Oh, jeez. There's that hot chocolate milk rising up on me. So sorry. All right. So last guitar.
Yeah.
Last guitar coming up right now.
So this is where I have to prepare.
Dude. This guitar, I dream about this guitar at least once a week, and I've dreamed about it for 25 years.
Dave has called out the name of this guitar during sex with his girlfriend, and she never understood what it meant.
Oh. Wow.
Okay, so a little background. Years ago, Dave used to work at a store called Corette Music. For those of you that remember.
Yeah, this is before I worked at Manny's Music.
And back then, they were holding a promotional guitar for an artist who was giving it away for a charity benefit for St. Jude's Children's Hospital here on Long Island, where we're all from, or at least Dave and I are from.
Mm-hmm.
And did that dog
Yes.
bark? Holy
Yeah,
crap.
she does.
Did you give that dog milk? I'm sorry. I didn't do
Blame it on the dog.
Listen.
No, Brandy does.
I'm
Brandy-
telling this great story, and all of a sudden, this waft comes into my nostrils, and the dog's looking at me like, "Hey, asshole, you screwed up the show. This is your payback." So
There's no sound to that. It's just the.
the gentle puff of a dog whose rectum has been violated too many times to make a noise.
And then they look around like.
Yeah, the dog just gave me a look of. Yeah. So anyway, this store Corette Music had this guitar on display for a benefit for Children's Charity Hospital, St. Jude's Charity Hospital for Children, where they basically cure kids of cancer for free. Great cause. And it turned out that one of the artists, very well-known artist back in the day, life was saved by St. Jude's. So he felt that as an adult and a rock superstar, that he would give back to the hospital when he was saved and when he was famous. And he basically did a charity benefit at Spit Rocks, a club in Levittown. I think it was Levittown. Yeah. And he played live and raffled off his favorite guitar from the tour at that time that is very well played in. And this guy working at Corette Music was playing this guitar every day until the day of the benefit.
Thank God I didn't break any strings on it.
And the benefit happened, and I tried to win it. I didn't, but I immediately grabbed the guy who won and said, we got to talk. and we did. Yeah, we did, and we came to a cash agreement that it went bye-bye with me. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are fans of Steve Vai, Steve Vai, this there it is. Yeah. This was Steve Vai's favorite gem on the David Lee Roth Skyscraper tour. So this has a floral neck and headstock that Joe DeSpagni, who owned a company called Gem Guitars, which this model was named after. Joe DeSpagni worked on this neck specifically for Steve's taste. And it comes with paperwork and notes from Joe describing what he did to it. And if you look on the back.
You know, I worked for Joe, too.
I did not know that. The great Joe DeSpagni, rest in peace, Long Island hero, great guitar builder, now passed away. It says what Steve basically told everyone, that this was his personal favorite guitar from the Skyscraper tour. P.S. This is my favorite. Play loud. God bless Skyscraper 88 to a worthy cause, Steve Vai. As you can see, it's been beat to death. Mm-hmm. This thing has scrapes and scratches and dents. And I said, Steve, you know, how did it get so bad? He said, well, you know, I had a lot of, you know, belts on with studs and spikes and stuff at the time. But mostly I would swing these things around and get them real close to the stage. And sometimes they would contact with the stage. So you can see that it's all scraped and the wear. All this has just been in a big chunk out of there. All this was from Steve during the David Lee Roth Skyscraper tour when, if you watch the Yankee Rose video, which was from the first DLR album, you see Steve swinging guitars around. He's no joke. He's not gentle on his guitars, but he's probably one of the best players in the world. And little tape where he used to put his picks. And this has a long history with our friend David.
And a little added note is this neck is absolutely the prototype floral neck that came from his parents' house. The print. This is the one that the print from the curtain came from his parents' house. And you can actually see it in the paint. The clear coat is bubbled, and you can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the cloth under it.
Wow.
It's
Can we see a close up?
I don't know if you can.
I don't know how close you can get to it, but if you look, maybe you could see some of the
Let's
pattern.
see if we can get it under the light here.
But I've spoken to Steve about this guitar, and you know, he was actually shocked that the winner sold it, but I offered a lot of money. So
Was Steve like, really? The guy won it in a contest and he sold it right away? What a jerk.
Steve was kind of put off a little bit. I said, hey, listen, you know, I spoke to Steve once before. I said, hey, I don't know if you remember this guitar, but, you know, I have it now. And he's like, you have it? He's like, how did you get it? I remember the guy that won it. I said, you know, what do you think that weighs? Someone's asking what that weighs. What do you, 7 pounds?
Seven
It's light.
and a half, maybe.
7.5, maybe?
This is lighter than mine. Mine is about a little heavier than this.
Yeah, Steve was pretty, you know, he was almost put off that, like, you know, the guy sold it, but he was really happy that, like, I had it at that point and that I knew what it was, that I was at the show watching and trying to win it. So, you know, he was pretty happy that, like, it's in a fan's hand that, you know, takes care of it and enjoys it for what it is, you know.
I can't believe I'm holding it again.
So I loved when Steve Vai first appeared. I mean, I knew him from Alcatraz, and he was really good. He took over from Yngwie Malmsteen in Alcatraz, and he was good then. Of course, you know, he was Frank Zappa's protege.
Mm-hmm.
But when he came on with David Lee Roth, everybody, I remember back then, everyone was like, how in the heck is David Lee Roth going to find a replacement for Eddie Van Halen? He'll never find a replacement for Eddie Van Halen. And lo and behold, he came out with a super group. When that video Yankee Rose came out, my jaw hit the floor. Steve Vai blew me away, and I was immediately a fan. And I followed him, and I liked his solo album, and I liked his stint with Whitesnake. So when I got this was just really, you know, and I have a few Ibanez gems, some of the early ones, but that particular one being Steve's and having so much mojo from it. And I mean, look at this right now. David's girlfriend is staring at that. He is going to get some tonight.
Is that guitar going to be between the two of you tonight?
I don't even know if David will be in the bed, but that guitar will be. I may be too.
For this guitar,
Yeah.
I might let you.
we may cut a deal.
Yeah.
We may cut a deal. I'm so sorry, FCC. We may cut a deal. But look, you know, David Lee Roth with Vai was such a great super group put together, and you know, like I said, I thought Vai was terrific in his run with Whitesnake, and so this is really one, and I really like that David used to play it 30 years ago. I think it's just kind of a cool little thing for him to be reunited with this. Look at him. He's like a kid in a candy store enjoying this. Look at
So
him.
good.
This guitar is it's crazy.
Are the
Questions?
no, I can't tell if the 21st, second, third, and fourth
Yes, they are.
are scalloped, are they?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you have this very cool, for those that don't know gems well, you have this cool little tiger claw in there that, you know, because Vai does pullbacks like ready to snap the damn thing off. And obviously this is his strap, again, screwed in nice and tight so he could do those neck swings. And, you know, this thing's got a lot of stories to tell.
Oh.
And the audience is listening.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
So the body of this is definitely in 1987. You can tell because of these two little.
The palm guard.
Yeah, the palm guard. Do you have the palm guard for this?
Steve took it off on that one. And his green one, ironically, has a Kaler, which made no sense.
Oh, yeah.
But
well, Kaler made them. That's why they stopped making them.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this thing has stories to tell, and I'm just so proud to own that. And again, to take care of like real '80s heritage like that things that, you know, blew away a lot of people during concerts and stuff. I mean, you know, I just love all this stuff. So
that is awesome.
What memories? Man, brings back memories.
What memories?
What memories?
The color on the pickups haven't faded yet. The color on the switch hasn't faded yet. If you look at mine, the pickups they look white compared to this, and the switch tip also looks really pale compared to very well. Randy, you can't get in.
Well,
here.
I don't know if it's been taken care of very well. It looks like Wile E. Coyote threw it down a canyon a couple of times, but it's got a lot of Steve Vai mojo on it. So,
hey Dave, is there any way that you could snap a couple pics of that and maybe send them to Johnny so we can upload on?
Yeah, I have pictures of it already. But yes.
No, the guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, the guitar. Yes.
Yeah, of course. But I do have pictures of it already.
With the guitar.
By the way, someone just pointed out that this is Tata Tuesday. I mean, is this something you guys are trying to trap me into, like flashing my drugs?
I like Tata Tuesdays. Pretty good.
Listen, I'm ready to stay on if you guys promote that. I'm here every Tuesday. Believe me, I'm not going back to Hollywood. And thank you, Shauna Marie, for the nice words. You know, I really appreciate that. Thank everyone for the nice words for me being on tonight. I really appreciate. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you guys.
No,
yes.
Nice surprise.
Yeah. Wow.
It's Tata Tuesday. Where are the Tatas?
I'm excited because it's Taco Tuesday.
Wednesday.
You know,
I was just saying tatas in your taco.
I was gonna say, look out, man, because you know Nesdal, you know he's got a guitar that looks similar to that, and there might be some switcheroo.
The old
going on in the old Nesdal neck.
That's funny.
I couldn't do that.
Hey Dave, how comparing the back of the neck from that one to yours, what one do you think is thinner?
I saw the back of Dave's neck, and that's how I got on the show. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh! I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask that again. I'm sorry. I screwed that up.
On his back. Never mind. No, I was going to ask Dave like the difference between the neck of his and then that one.
Oh, that's a good question.
I'll give you 1 second. They feel very similar. This one may be a tiny bit flatter. Front to back.
Joe DeSpagni wrote that he did sand it down on the back because again, I have a lot of paperwork with that, notes from Joe to Steve.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, I hope that you appreciate it. I sanded it down to this thickness. I mean, real precision stuff. You know, paid special attention to the inlays. You know, all sorts of notes. I mean, Joe DeSpagni was great. Oh yeah,
that's fatter than mine. That's fatter than this one.
That's interesting.
This one's a lot thinner.
Yeah.
This one almost feels like a wizard neck.
See, in guitar talk, that's great. Your mine's thinner than yours.
Yeah, I know, really.
But
I sanded mine down. I wore it to a nub.
Oh.
How's the headstock on yours? It's got my grandma's cloth on it.
Meat curtains.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Oh boy, Tata Tuesday, huh? I wish we had visuals from some of the girls in the audience.
There is some similarities in the wear, it's like the beat up areas. I mean, mine is not as beat up as this one, but there's some dings in the same areas. You know, it's interesting. I'm looking at the colors, and you're right. Steve's is less faded. Just bring it up to the screen. Steve's is less faded color-wise than yours. Your pickups have more sun exposure, and your pink knob is also faded as to where Steve's colors.
That's what Desiree said.
Yeah, well,
I have a faded knob.
Yeah, all I heard was that pink knob has seen a lot of wear. That little, hold on, let me fondle this pink knob and slam this whammy and all that great guitar speak. Oh boy,
That pink nub.
we've taken all sorts of new lows.
87. I'm not going to give the whole.
Let me see how low it is. Oh yeah, that's when I stole it. I mean,
yeah, that's when you met the guy out, the one that outside with a.
That's an early number.
Yeah,
it's like Methuselah's social security number 000001.
What a great guitar.
I'm really glad to bring this over to reunite you with this. From your days of youth, when you still had hopes and dreams.
I had hair.
And
hair.
hair.
I thought you were going to say
all those that have been crushed now. Well,
here's a guitar that you still can't have.
You know, I'm so happy to own the one I have.
This is a great guitar. Any early gem like Dave's is really top notch. I mean, really great stuff.
But this is a treat to see this again because it's. I mean, I remember when I first
Thank you,
saw
Brendan.
this guitar. When I first saw this guitar, I was.
Good night, Brendan.
Good night, Brandon.
Good night,
Good night, Brendan.
I was thinking of ways of trying to get it and buy it and
Steal it. He wanted to steal it.
No,
It's like from a children's hospital charity that treats these little kids with cancer that have hair like his now. He wanted to steal this guitar.
I kind of begged and pleaded. I'm like, whatever the price is, tell me what. I don't care. I'll do it. Back then I didn't realize. You didn't just.
Whatever it is, I'll do it. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody realized that they wouldn't make guitars like that anymore in 20, 30 years later.
It was just the fact that I was such a fanboy of Steve.
We all were.
And this was his personal guitar. It wasn't like, oh, Steve played that guitar. No, this was his guitar, and it was not only a guitar, but it was his favorite guitar. And you're 20 years old, and you get to play this thing every day, and and it's your hero's guitar, and you can't buy it because it's not for sale. But,
was it autographed? Was it autographed when you used to play it?
Yeah. All the stuff that was on it, everything that he wrote on it was on it when I played it.
And again, this was hanging in the music store for a month, promoting that charity auction.
Yeah, just hanging up on a wall.
And when I walked into the club that night, when I walked into Spit, it was also just hanging from the ceiling, and everyone's like staring at it like like Christ coming down off the cross. It was like, oh. I'm a Jew. I'm thinking he's going to come back and get revenge on us for, But I jumped on that. I was so happy to be able to buy it from the winner, and I tried my damnedest to win it. I dropped like probably $200 worth of raffle tickets. I mean, children's charity, So I'm just really honored to own stuff like this, And I hope you guys at home really enjoy seeing stuff like that.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I did. This was tonight was a treat. Really.
Tonight was a treat for everyone except those in the audience. It was like they were expecting like really good conversation.
And I think these are the strings that were on it, right? You haven't changed these strings, have you?
I haven't actually, but I guess they are the strings that were on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I played these strings.
Ew.
Yeah, that crusty DNA that's on the board. That's
really
probably
for like a month. I played these strings.
It's been Nesdalled.
I've also sacked it.
I remember I was doing this, I was playing, and there was. He stopped it. All right.
Did he bring it to the bathroom like Costanza?
Yeah, there you go, kids.
It was flagged.
Yeah, and for those asking, apologies about my IMDb. I'm the laziest actor in Hollywood. I've only put about half the stuff on my resume on my IMDb, so go to the resume page and you'll see a lot more stuff I did. But anyway, I really enjoy being here with you guys, and thanks Thanks for hosting and letting me ruin your show for a few hours.
Oh, we'll do it again. We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Yeah. Ta Tuesday, and I still haven't seen anything.
I don't know which guitar. I mean, other than this, sentimentally, all the guitars that Jonathan showed, they're like, I don't know which one I like better. They're all super duper cool. Every one of them was like ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time picking ones to bring you. And, make no mistake, I don't just collect the celebrity stuff. I mean, I buy stuff I just like to play. I like old BC Rich. I like old Charvel, old Jackson, stuff like that. I just really enjoy. So, thank you, Sean. I'm loving Shauna Marie Sings. You are so kick-ass. I want to, like, bronze you. You have a really great audience, by the way. Really.
We love our audience.
I love your audience. You guys are great.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, they're all bots.
They're like, oh, yeah. No, we like them, too.
There's only 2 people watching us, and that's our own computers that are open.
It's our own computers.
Yeah, he has the computer next to him. He's typing everything in.
He types very fast.
So awesome.
That's why Jay was so late. He's like typing comments. Yeah.
He was everybody in the chat.
Jonathan Mankuta. Yeah.
Making
I
up names.
lost 15 viewers when I came on because I couldn't, I can't do 2 things at once there.
Let's see. Hold on. John Bolaware writes, it's a thing for radio station here in the Bay Area. Ta Tuesday. They used to have women around the Bay Area drive around topless and talk to them on the phone. We used to have something like that.
Wednesday.
Whip 'em Out Wednesday with Opie and Anthony, the great Opie and Anthony, radio heroes of Long Island. Mm-hmm. They used to have Whip 'em Out Wednesday, and basically what you would do is you would have a WOW Whip 'em Out Wednesday bumper sticker, and girls would, and this has happened to me a bunch of times, thankfully.
Well, when you look like you, it would happen.
When you look like me, usually
the
police follow you and say, "Is that your sticker, son? It's on your headlight." No, they and girls would pull up and say, "I see you have a Whip 'em Out Wednesday sticker." I'm like, "Well, yes, I do." And lo and behold, it was Whip 'em Out Wednesday. So great holiday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wear pink to make breast cancer awareness is because I want to save the tatas. So.
Don't we all?
I remember, John. Yeah, I live in Santa Cruz. I used to live in Berkeley, California, so I know the station that John's talking about. Yeah, I think it was the Bone. I think is what it was called, and the morning show had something called Ta Tuesday.
Gave me the Bone.
And what people would do is on the freeway, if you had a sticker on your car or something, guys, they would hold up a sign that said Ta Tuesday or something, and whoever they were showing the sign to in the next car, I guess they had to like show them or whatever.
Yeah, again, for those ladies in the audience, it was just it was a fun promotion, boys being boys, yada yada yada. They're like, who are these women? These are women that were the same girls that would flash at concerts, just having fun. Because life's too short. Have a little fun, That's what's going on. That's the story.
Yeah.
But this isn't like these girls like doing a career out of it. Hey, let's go driving, flashing our breasts. No, it was just a silly thing that we all had fun with back in the day.
And it's easy. It's really easy if you know you're not going to see that person again.
Yeah, definitely. It's again.
Well, it was like 8 in the morning too.
They didn't even have makeup on them.
Kind of weird. Yeah, Lamont and Tonelli. That was the show. Yeah.
Brian Davies wants to know if he gets a prize for guessing correctly the Steve Vai guitar. I don't know. Do you guys get a prize?
Yeah, you get to come back next time.
You get to come back next time. There's listen, if it was up to me, if it was my show, I would give away one of Dave's guitars.
Hey, the prize is that we can actually see your comment, that you're not blocked.
Hey, is this thing supposed to chip off like that? No, I'm just kidding.
I know. And yes, Shauna, I appreciate that you're a lady. That's okay. All girls bring something to the table. You're awesome.
Well, you can tell which guitars Dave isn't playing very often, because I guess those are the ones with the stockings hanging off of them.
Those are condoms.
Well, the stockings, I mean, I put them up last year. It's just that's where the stockings are. I have the tree up over here, too. Right to my right.
It's beginning to look a lot like Fistmas. I love your Christmas tree. He has a Christmas tree that is covered in Star Trek and Star Wars ornaments. It's pretty badass, actually.
You don't say.
For a geek like me, it's very badass.
We know everything he gets Star Wars related or Star Trek related. He shows us.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool.
I'm loving the girls in your audience, by the way. There's a lot of fun comments.
Can you believe it that we have girls in our audience?
Listen, I haven't seen a girl since my mother yelled at me this morning. You need to get a life. You need to get a life and move out of our basement, please, John. Please.
Where were all these girls?
Stop playing with your guitars and your comic books.
I'm coming in. I'm coming in. I hear a noise that sounds like you're in pain.
I was the original.
Where's
Noma?
Find it.
Noma, please.
Why is there a full roll of paper towels next to your bed?
Who used all the Kleenex? And now they look like crusty snowflakes. I'm going to go hang them off the tree.
Oh.
I didn't know you had a cold.
He sounds like Adam.
I didn't have a cold. I'm trying to keep it warm, Ma. I'm stuffing half in my jeans to look human. Oh, God help me. God help me.
Oh.
Everybody, I hope you're having a good Hanukkah if you're Jewish. If not, Christmas coming up. Kwanzaa coming up soon, too.
26th.
Do you celebrate Kwanzaa?
No.
No, I don't either. But listen, any excuse for presents is a good holiday. So hope you're all having a lot of fun out there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Wait, what are we doing?
Oh wait, I have a guitar. Yes, I have a guitar for sale first, real quick, that I want to show.
Okay.
That I want to, if anyone's interested in.
Is it this case at the edge?
No, it's up on the wall.
Oh.
Shauna, you could send me a PM.
put
I'd like to hear that. That's kind of fun.
In here.
Look out, eh?
I know he's holding yours.
John Bowler did show up on my messenger. I just don't know how to receive it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
You almost took it.
You
almost took it, really.
I almost took it right in the bum.
All right, so this is a very early ESP Skulls and Snakes. I think he called it a Haji, right?
Haji was George's original version of this, which is the Skulls and Snakes. It's the Lynch Mob cover design to the Lynch Mob album.
Wicked Sensation.
George named his own version of this Haji, his own personal version of this. Good night, Bruce. Thank you.
So this guitar is for sale. This is a very early one. It's the 18th one in production.
Jesus.
You don't have the 17th or the 16th?
No. It's got the ESP Strat-like headstock.
It's almost taking my eye out. It's great.
It's a great guitar. It's very clean. With the original hard case. If anyone's interested in this guitar, just direct message me on Facebook or however you'd like to get in touch with me. Let me know, and we'll discuss price on it there. But it is for sale.
He'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
It is in pristine condition.
And by the way, that's a great album, Wicked Sensation from Lynch Mob.
That is a great album. George Lynch. I have a lot of George's original guitars, and I know George. He's out by me on the West Coast, and definitely a cool piece. Great album. I mean, he's a workaholic. This guy, he forms groups with everybody. He just Stephen Sweet, yeah, let's play that. TNA, yeah, let's do that. Dokken, I'll reunite with them. Sure, why not? I mean, it's like, wow. Bridge and pickups. Let's see what we got. This is probably the early ones had either Duncan distortions, which
I think this is the EVH pickup.
That early now?
Yeah.
Because I remember they did Duncan distortions and they did one other early ESP pickup, the L something.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong on this one. I'm not sure, and I don't know. I admit I'm a lame idiot when it comes to neck pickups because I just don't use single coils when I play. So,
but it's an original.
Screaming Demon came out for the second album, right? The Screaming Demon.
Screaming Demon came out in the second year of production for these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a Screaming Demon. It's too early for that.
Yeah.
But very, very cool piece from a friend of ours. Good friend of ours for a long time.
Yeah. One of the things that makes this cool is ESP, when they put the Floyd nut on, usually it's top mounted with two little screws. This one is rear mounted with the big screws, the big metal screws that go back into Floyd Roses. So it's on there good. I actually like it this way better when they mount them from the rear, because they won't I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
The liquor's kicking in.
Yeah. They won't strip out. So
no stripping on
holding
this
on to the
no
nut really
strippers.
well. It's a great feeling neck.
Good night, Guitar Hack. Thank you.
I believe it's an R5 nut. It's a very wide neck. George is known for wide fretboards, so I think it's an R5 nut.
That is a wide board, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's an original Floyd Rose.
It's clean. It's a nice guitar.
Great guitar.
Great holiday gift for somebody.
Or for yourself.
Liquor up and poker in the rear.
So, yes, this guitar is for sale. Somebody buy it.
And you still haven't heard about the PGM?
No, the PGM, my buddy said that he had someone looking at it last night. I'll find out when I speak to him next.
Okay.
Which is the PGM?
The Paul Gilbert.
Okay.
Purple with the pink pickups and the pink.
Pretty guitar.
Yeah, he's interested in that. Him and one of his buddies is interested in that.
Yeah, I can't do it right now, but my buddy wants to buy it. He said if it's available, he wants it. So
okay. Well,
and I can be jealous of my own friend, a guitar that I want, can't have, but he can have it, so good for him,
What, PM you for price or?
No, the price is out there. I told him what the price was.
No.
For this, yes.
Someone's
PM
asking.
for price. You know what? I had it. I'll tell you here. I had it up for $3,000 because I originally thought it was a prototype, but it's not a prototype. It's just a very early one, so it's going to be $2,500
for the wacky low price of $2,500. Buy now, call now. We'll throw in the sham wow. It soaks up blood. It soaks up jizz. Sham wow. Right now, look at this guitar. It's speaking to you. Call now.
I just paid him a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, I get 10% of that.
Oh, that was good.
Celebrity endorsement. A G-list celebrity endorsement. People ask me, like, what list are you on? I'm like, list. I'm on the don't let this idiot in the door list.
Yeah.
That's the list.
No-fly list.
Yeah, Bozique, I remember Crazy Eddie. His prices are insane. That guy made so much money. The only thing insane is his bank account balance. Oh my God. I wish I had that. That guy
didn't he go to jail though for like tax evasion or something?
Isn't he dead?
What the hell? I thought he went to jail for something.
I don't know. Did he? What? I like child porn. Oh, did I say that out loud? No.
I told you I'm crazy.
Yeah.
This video just got flagged by YouTube.
He pleads insanity.
Yeah, we're gonna have to delete this video now. Johnny's dying.
Oh, that's in the Bay Area. What is that? Repping the Bay Area, yo.
Did he die? Did he die? Superfuzz just pointed out he died, I think. And did he really die? Did he have a heart attack during a commercial filming? That would be so funny. Let's see. He got busted for embezzlement and snagged by the feds for hiding in Israel. Wait. Was he Jewish? Was he one of my peeps? He did have a lot of money.
Wow. Bosie, you happen to know a lot about Crazy Eddie.
That'd be really fun. Bosie has like this whole file. Can you imagine Crazy Eddie
He's a CIA agent.
hiding out in Israel? Imagine he's like trying to blend in with all the Hasidic Jews walking around. He's like, "You Jews don't eat pork. That's insane." Have you ever had bacon? Bacon's delicious. Insane. Jeez. What was his real name? Does anyone know that? Crazy Ed. I know he wasn't actually Eddie. That wasn't actually the owner of the store. He was just hired on as a spokesperson. The actual Crazy Eddie person, like literally, he was just a store owner. He found this guy, and I guess he got a piece of it or something. But
well, that's a shame. That kind of ruins it, you know.
I know that'd be really funny if that was Eddie. Eddie's probably like this meek, gentle person. He's like, "Yes, I'm Edward. We hired a spokesperson for our business. We'll give you a wonderful price on televisions." And they're like, you can't do your own commercials, Eddie. We gotta find someone. And they found that guy, man. It's
like the Spatula City guy from UHF.
Oh, that's great. Yep. I remember that movie. That was Weird Al.
Yeah, man.
Great Weird Al Yankovic. Brilliant. I like how he appeared on the Goldbergs recently. Did you guys see that?
No.
Goldbergs? Do you watch the Goldbergs?
No.
Funny comedy series. It's like it flashes back to this guy's childhood in the 80s. This guy, the producer of the show. It basically tells, his family stories in the 80s. And they had that he was like a real fan of Weird Al Yankovic. And they actually had Weird Al appear on the show as his 80s self. And he looks good. He looks great.
Oh, that's cool.
Could you imagine? Mad Dog says Eddie found cocaine. Could you imagine like he's all gentle and then he does a couple lines and okay, roll him. Yeah. Roll him. Go. It's crazy, Eddie. See his heart's palpitating like this. It's just like, it's Crazy Eddie's greatest Christmas sale ever. We're going to go insane. Oh! Jumping out of his chest.
Desiree, what the hell did you put in that hot cup now?
I think there's a roofie in here because I'm feeling sleepy and lusty at the same time. Thank you.
Perfect time for me to run away with that gem.
Yeah, I know, really. Honey, this is for a guitar. Sleep with the guy. Let's see. We're Syrian Jews. They're relocated to Brooklyn. Do you know how many of us Jews are in Brooklyn? I mean, Jesus.
Don't we all?
Jews and Italians. I mean, we have Brooklyn down. We have Brooklyn down. I have Italians in my family too. I'm like a pizza bagel. DJ Jerry Carroll played the character. Is that true? Was that the actor's name?
Who said that? Was that John B.
Anthony M. I don't know. I like Shauna Marie Singh's laugh. She's awesome. You guys have some great female listeners here. I really like you guys. Thank you, Superfuzz. It's fun. I'm like trying to enjoy the show, but I'm also loving the viewer comments coming in.
Well, yeah, that's the show.
Yeah, you have such a good audience.
That's one of the best things about doing as what's his name, Bill O'Reilly would say, doing it live. We'll do it live. That's the best part about it.
I wish Bill O'Reilly would do it dead. I hate that guy. Just saying.
I'm talking about his when he flips out is one of the best things ever. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
That's an angry man. That's a really angry man.
Yeah.
He goes home.
They're making a fraction of him, you know, what he makes. And he's yelling.
He goes home, pours a glass of Merlot, and contemplates the gun in his mouth every night. He's an angry man. Very lonely. Very lonely.
Johnny, is it Irish goodbye time soon or no?
Oh, that's so funny. We did an Irish goodbye.
What's Irish goodbye?
Just hang up.
Oh,
yeah, when you're at a party or something, you just leave. You don't even say goodbye to anybody. It's like, where the hell did Jay go?
Nice.
That was a great touch last one. No, we did.
It's kind of like Steve.
No, Steve is the Irish. Where the hell is he?
Yeah.
By the way, can I point out a band I saw the other day? I just happened to catch this. It was so weird. My parents were watching the Victoria's Secret runway show. I no, literally, no, wasn't me, and a handful of Pond's cold cream. No, it was literally. I walked in and my parents were watching it, and my dad's on the end of his seat, titillated, and my mom's like squinting at the scene, trying to figure out what's going on. And they had this band. I think they're called, what are they? The Strokes?
Oh yeah,
they're like a glammy kind of. Is it the Strokes?
Yeah. Well, that is a band. Yeah.
But wait, is it? Let me make sure I got the name right, because I may be giving you toward my personal fantasies. Just hold on a second. Maybe, let me just make sure there was them. But there was a band on. I thought they were really, really good, and I was surprised I never heard of them. But I guess they're kind of new, and I want to give a shout out to see if anyone else likes them. You guys talk about something else for a minute. Let's see. No, the Struts. The Struts.
Oh.
As in, I love to watch your strut. The band is called the Struts, and they played live during this Victoria's Secret show, and they were kind of a glammy, kind of almost like a mix of like David Bowie, but in kind of almost an 80s sound. The Struts. If you guys heard of them, I really like them. I think they're a pretty good band. Just since there's not a lot of great new music coming out that really catches me. I mean, I like Ghost. I thought they're pretty good. But I like that band, the Struts. If anyone wants to check that out, I'm sure it's on YouTube. Check out that the live show that they did during the Victoria's Secret runway. It was pretty good. The song is called Body Talk, I think.
We'll check it out.
Body Talk.
Rat has a song called Body Talk. Different Body Talk, though.
Different band.
Rat's not even Rat. Rat's not even Rat anymore.
Which Rat?
Yeah, there's so many. I love when bands split into two entities, and it's like, we're Rat. No, we're Rat. And it's like, one has the singer and one just has the drummer. Neither has the guitarists.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean,
lose the court case or something, or the
Rat had a court case with the drummer. What's his name?
Blotzer.
Bobby Blotzer was like the last member of the band that had the name, but then Warren DeMartini was like fighting for it, and I think eventually Blotzer, I think, lost. I think he lost.
Yeah, this was only a couple of days ago, but he screwed himself a couple of years ago. He tried to take the name behind everybody's back.
And have 4 other guys, and just, hey, the original drummer from Rat. Does anyone give a crap about Bobby Blotzer? I know I don't. I like Warren DeMartini. I like Carlos. Since Robin died, I think Carlos was great, and obviously Stephen Pearcy. I mean, he was terrific. But it's I totally think it's like with just Bobby Blotzer and 5 guys, it's a cover band. So who really cares about that? I've seen Stephen Pearcy live, and he's great. I've seen Warren live in various incarnations, and he's terrific. And if they ever want to get their stuff together and put everything back, that would be great. But otherwise, you have, you know, Great White also did a split. You know, you have Great White and Jack Russell's Great White. You know, and to me, Great White is Mark Kendall's version of it with now Mitch. Was it Mitch Malloy?
Oh, Mitch Malloy's in that band.
He just joined after Terry left. Terry from XYZ. Mitch Malloy just joined, and he's looking great as the frontman of Great White. Mark Kendall is right on point with the music. They have a great new album. I like them a lot.
I'd be interested in hearing that.
And again, I mean, I really liked Jack Russell, you know, as a frontman. But you know, when they split, it was Jack Russell and 4 other guys.
Right.
You know, that to me just still isn't Great White. Great White for me is Mark Kendall.
I mean, I also think that Queensryche isn't Queensryche without Jeff Tate.
Now these guys, I have to disagree with you on this one because Queensryche, I'm friends with these guys, so I'm a little biased. But the thing about Queensryche is Jeff was having a lot of friction with the band, and he split from the band. And remember, Chris DeGarmo is years ago, so let's not even look at that as a factor. You have Michael Wilton, who to me is the standing sound of Queensryche, and you have Jeff, who's the voice of Queensryche. But years ago, when I heard a band called Crimson Glory, and their frontman sounded, Todd LaTorre, sounded just like Jeff Tate in his best days, and they brought him on to front Queensryche, and they own the name. You know, the band owns the name, not Jeff. And they brought Jeff LaTorre on. Queensryche sounds like Jeff on his best days as them. And look, you know, I wish Jeff well with, you know, what he's going on as Operation Mindcrime. That's his band's name. And, you know, he still has a decent voice, but it's not what Todd LaTorre is, because Todd, oh my God, is he a good front man on Queensryche songs. He's terrific.
Yeah, I agree. Because Queensryche, the older stuff is that's one of my favorite, like Empire.
Mindcrime is my album.
Mindcrime, that's probably the albums. Empire, for some reason, I don't know what it is about that. It's probably because that's when I got into them. Was
terrific album. What's not to like?
And even Promised Land, like it took me a while to get into that after I bought it because it's different, it's dark. But that album is awesome. But once I think the grunge hit and everything, and then they made Here in the Now Frontier.
Yeah,
really stripped down and raw sounding, and just didn't have the production, and
it didn't work for the '80s guys. It didn't work.
And I think that's a band trying to change with the times instead of like, hey, we're doing what we're doing. We don't have to worry about trends or anything. And I think they went the opposite way, and it kind of screwed them.
Yeah, and you know, the guys that sound great right now are guys like Great White or something that, you know, that just get back into what they really started with, just to catering to that 80s audience, playing what they know. Because you know what? The one thing about the 80s guys, we're very, very loyal to our bands. If you give us the sound that we want, that we grew up with, we're really loyal. We'll still buy the CD just to read the liner notes, and we'll download it too.
Yeah, I don't even download. I buy, if I want something, I buy the CD.
Yeah, I like George Lynch's stuff. I like, you know, someone just wrote in that Faster Pussycat has a new record. I'd love to hear that, because I think they were great. I mean, I've seen a lot of these guys in concert lately coming back. I mean, I've seen guys like, you know, Vane and Junkyard and, you know, Sebastian Bach with his band. And, you know, these guys.
That's another one. Skid Row. I think Skid Row isn't Skid Row without Sebastian Bach.
Oh, God, no.
Definitely, because Sebastian Bach was so big a part of that band. Nothing against, you know, Dave and Scotty, they're great, but that band was revolving around Sebastian being its frontman. Without Sebastian, I have to admit, I just can't enjoy it the same way. I'd rather see Sebastian with a backing band than Skid Row with. You just can't replace Sebastian Bach. He's like probably one of the best frontmen of the '80s. I mean, the guy's like, you know, a little taller than me, and I'm almost 6'4", and this guy's
Ashton like 6'6" or something.
Yeah, something like that. And he's you know, he's just like the hair we all want.
Yeah.
You know, my hair. Let me tell you something. My hair during the '80s, when I did it right with product and everything, you know, I had that whole Bon Jovi thing going on. But you bring a dry, humid day to my Jufro, I'd look like Meadowlark Lemon from the Globetrotters. You know, or I'd look like a dirty Q-tip for those of you that don't remember the Harlem Globetrotters. Just a big freaking puff of crap. And I'd be sitting there with a pick, and, you know, just every member of KISS went through it. You know, also it's like, you know, I know Eric Carr and I shared the same problem with hair, but, you know, the thing is, Sebastian Bach, just probably the best looking guy out of the 80s. And what a vocalist. Oh my God, his range and his presence on a stage. That guy was Skid Row. So
yeah, and Skid Row didn't have the benefit of having an Eddie Van Halen in their band to kind of like carry it through.
Yeah.
Look,
Snake and Rachel Bolan wrote those songs. Great writers, great production. Did some really good product. Those first 2 albums were terrific.
And they're good guitar players.
And they're good, solid guitar players, but they're not standouts.
No.
You know, you look at, you know, guys like, you know, okay, like CeCe DeVille, he was a showman. Not a technical, crazy player, but a really good on-stage guitar presence. And you look at guys like Steve Vai, and there's a technical, amazing player. And you look at guys like Jakey Lee, and this guy was, you know, in Ozzy's band, basically, you know, with a few fillers after Randy. So, I mean, you're talking some great players come out of the 80s, but you don't hear like, you know, Dave Snake Sabo or Scotty as mentioned in those long lists of who's your favorite guitar player for any reason.
Yep, you're
They're
right.
just good, solid writers, you know. But, you know, different bands brought different things. And like I said, I go to a Great White show and I see, you know, Terry or Mitch Malloy now. And, you know, as much as I love Jack Russell, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it because Mark Kendall's holding down the guitar end like big time. And I know I'm at a Great White show, you know. And I feel that way about Queensryche currently with you know, with Michael Wilton. I think he's a terrific player. And, you know, like I said, Todd LaTorre, what a vocalist. Holy God.
And they're actually tuning back to standard with a lot of their, I think all of their stuff. They don't have to tune down for his voice anymore like they did.
Oh, no. They had to with Jeff because Jeff was losing his voice.
Yeah.
Todd is like as good as Jeff was back in the day. Bring it up, boys.
Yeah. And back to Skid Row, one of the best vocal performances, in my opinion, of hard rock on any album is Slave to the Grind. I mean, you listen to some of those songs and you're like, holy, could you imagine being in the recording studio, being like the producer for that record and just be like, listen to this effing guy, man. Listen to him just go up and go, oh, man. I'm getting pumped.
Yeah. No, even Sebastian on that first record, just his range, you know, 18 in Life, when he hits that note, you know, what a great vocalist. I mean, I'll say other great vocalists that I personally admire, because someone's asking me that. I like Davey Vane. I thought Vane was a great vocalist. Mark Slaughter, I think is phenomenal. And let me tell you, Slaughter still rocks, although, you know, hand to heaven, I miss Tim. You know, Tim, their guitarist, got killed years ago. What a great guy and a great player.
But have you heard Mike Himmel?
Mike's the guy that filled in after him.
Yeah.
After him.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I haven't heard a recorded album, but I've seen them live, and they're great.
He's great.
And Mark also plays.
Super nice guy.
Mark also plays guitar.
Yeah.
Mark's terrific. Mark and
that's one of those bands. Slaughter's one of those bands when they were popular back in the day. I didn't like them. I actually only started like listening to Slaughter a couple years ago.
Freddie, was that it?
Huh?
No, just his voice. He's a kind of whiny thing.
I love those. You know, like him and Davey Vane, and before him, what is it? Robert, who was with Vinnie Vincent? Robert Fleischman. Also, I thought was a great vocalist with Vinnie Vincent Invasion. I love those guys. I mean,
you know who my favorite vocalist, and he's very underrated. Most people don't even know who he is Devin Townsend.
Who is it?
Devin Townsend.
How most people.
Devin Townsend, he's probably done, I don't know, 30 or 40 records since the 80s.
Yeah.
Literally that many. But his claim to fame is he played guitar and sang on Steve Vai's Sex and Religion record.
Okay.
His voice is just ridiculous, and he matches everything that Steve does on guitar. He's like a
no
Mike
easy
Keneally.
feat.
No, he's like a Mike Keneally, but with a voice.
That's interesting because I've honestly never heard him. I mean, I remember the Sex and Religion record, but it didn't stand out to me as like a record I listened to.
Amazing guitar player and even more amazing voice. Like he can hit any note at any time, and he's just ridiculous.
Well, you want the guy that hits the notes. Is does anyone remember the band Steelheart?
Yeah,
with Mike Matevic. That guy.
How about Tony Harnell?
Like, you know, when he hits that note, not that one, but the one I'm not going to try to even attempt to hit now, but that one where, you know, he's like, you know, it's like, oh my God, that guy's shattering glass. It's like, what a great vocalist that guy was.
Have you ever heard of Crazy Licks?
Crazy Licks. That movie starred.
No.
Who was in that?
They're a band from Sweden, and they sound like an 80s band nowadays, but it sounds like these records were made. It doesn't sound like, you know, a lot of these bands nowadays are putting out these like 80s kind of glam band or glam albums now, but they sound kind of forced and phony.
Okay.
Crazy Licks is putting out albums that sound like they're from that era, that it sounds legit. It sounds like these records are from that era. Check out their latest album is called, oh crap. Oh, I'm looking it up real quick. I forgot the name of it.
Someone right now just brought up Crazy Licks. Mr.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, man?
Pointed that out.
Spotify is taking forever to open for some stupid reason. Here's the album cover. You got to check this record out. It is phenomenal.
Rough Justice.
Rough Justice from Crazy Licks. LIXX.
I'll check that out.
You got it, man. It's
I mean, look, man, I like what Steel Panther's doing now. I think those guys are terrific.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I mean, they started as like a comedy act, but they're really good.
Oh, they're great musicians, yeah.
You know? And let's see. Someone brought up Jim Gillette of Nitro. You know what's really funny? I was never a fan of Nitro. I tried. And I remember they had these vocal lessons they would sell.
That one?
That's the one. That's the one. And he said, I can help you guys do that too. Do you want to sing like me? And I said, no, I don't. You're just screaming, man. The music was terrible, and I, you know, it was like, wasn't he like with Lita Ford or something? Like he was like married to Lita Ford, I think.
Oh yeah, Jim Gillette married,
and she probably heard his vocal lessons and had to get out of there. I mean, she just like, I got to get rid of that, you know, because he's doing that in the shower every day. It's like, are you done in the bathroom, Jim? Let me in the bathroom.
Well, those vocal lessons.
Believe it. Those vocal lessons, I feel bad for anyone that sent that guy money and got a cassette tape of him screaming like that.
It looked like if his jeans were not stuffed, then I got to give the guy a little credit.
Oh no, I'm sure the guy was packing heat, and not that I looked, but you know, I'm sure that the guy was packing heat, and that's how he got Lita. But that screaming was how that Nitro record just tanked immediately. Let's see.
Too much, like over the top, like, whoa, all right, you know.
Let's see. Guys are asking, have I heard of Harem Scarum? Yes. Michelangelo. Yeah, I remember him. I remember that guy was playing like this 4-necked guitar.
Still does.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He had a guitar with 4 necks, and he's double playing. I mean, that was a talented guy. Nice guy, too. I met him at NAMM once.
By the way, Tone Talk, Mark from Tone Talk is the guy with the
Captain America.
Captain America.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Shout out to my comic book loving brother. Let's see. Oh, Judas Priest was another one with. Oh my God, what a vocalist there.
Oh, their new album is awesome.
Is it? I haven't heard it, but I love it.
Halford sounds like he's 27 years old on it. It's crazy.
Dropping like flies, though.
God bless him, man. I mean, if you could hold those vocal chops, you know what it is? If you didn't smoke your ass off, that's the key. Because I've seen guys from the, I've seen guys from the 80s, and yes, I love Killer Dwarfs. I've seen guys from the 80s, and some of them can really still hit those notes and sound just like they used to. And then there's guys I remember seeing back in clubs back in the day smoking their ass off, and now it's like, yes, I can still hit that note. You know, it's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, sure you can.
Yeah, Davey Vane is a vocalist I brought up earlier. I really like him. I saw Vane in a show in Orange County like a year or two ago, and I've always loved his vocals. There's an underrated band I've always liked, Vane. It's just so many guys, vocalists that like you don't think about until like recently, you know, that like really can like still hold notes.
Mm-hmm. Kip Winger, yes, that's one of my favorites.
Winger, yeah, he's a great vocalist
too. Winger got the rawest deal of the '80s of anybody. Mm-hmm. Here's a guy, because he's such a good-looking guy with teeth that are like porcelain. The guy always got a bad rap. You know, he's a poser. He's a poser. But you know what? The guy was a great vocalist. He played bass. And Reb Beach, holy crap, what a great guitarist, right? So here they are, come out with Pole, which is a great album, their third studio album, about to be released. And just before that release, not only do you have Nirvana coming at you, ruining the scene, but you have Beavis and Butthead premieres, and the fat, nerdy kid Stewart's wearing a Winger shirt, and they're making fun of him, and nobody bought that album. And it was so good.
I did.
It was such a good album. I bought it, but I'm an idiot. But I mean, I still buy CDs from those guys, and there was such a good band. They got such a raw deal. I felt so bad for them.
It's a shame. I remember reading an interview with Kip back in the day about that, and he's like, you know, we're in the middle of touring or whatever, or we started the tour for the new album coming out, and all of a sudden it was like that episode hit with Stewart. He's like, they were selling out places. The tour was going great. And then
like a raging hard on that suddenly your aunt walks in and suddenly just starts flopping down.
Yeah. And then he said, yeah,
I think we have that.
Yeah. Yeah, and Rod Morgenstein was an awesome drummer. Not to cheat him out of his due for
Drex. Yeah.
Pull was such a great album that nobody heard.
Mm-hmm. Spell I'm Under. That's one of the all-time greats from that band.
Oh God, I mean the whole album was just good, you know. And like I said, I mean I like them right out of the gate. You know, I used to go to like record stores. And I would basically ask, could I listen to the CD? And they would let me because they knew, hey, this guy buys a lot of CDs or cassettes back in the day, whatever it was. And they'd open them up and I'd just like pop them in their stereo and I'd listen to like the first few songs and I would judge a band from that. And I discovered so many great little bands from doing that, you know, and just, you know, stuff that went undiscovered. And a lot of the mainstream bands, that's how I like went into that, you know. I would just buy almost everything that came out. Yeah. Down Incognito, yeah, that's another great song.
That's actually my least favorite song from them. Something about that song. I remember because that was the first single for that record.
Yeah,
my buddy was so
single for that record.
Huh?
I think it was the only single for that record. I think.
Yeah, it probably was. Probably was, but I remember on what I think it was Z-Rock 93.3 Z-Rock. Oh, new premiere, new Winger song premiering today, and me and my buddy were pumped for it. And that came on, and we're just like, "The hell is this?" We were expecting, you know, flashy glam stuff, and it was Incognito.
I love that song. I love that song. Me and my amigo down incognito.
Yeah, in fact, I heard it the other day. Actually,
Amiga. Me and my amiga.
The riff on that, whatever the hell Reb does, and that's pretty neat. But that's, I don't know.
And again, I mean, you know, some of these players, like, you know, it's amazing. People like respect Reb as a player, but they don't respect Winger as a band. It's like, well, that was Reb's music. You know, you can't have one without the other. I know you want to separate it, but, you know, don't hold it against Kip that the guy was born with genetics, you know, that the, you know, all the four of us would kill for.
Well, people instantly, there's a stigma with Winger and 17. It's people just instantly think of that type of, you know, topic when you think of Winger. And I'm like, I like great musicians.
I like those party songs.
Yeah, but back then, I mean, they were in their early 20s anyway. So it's like it wasn't that bad of a, it wasn't that big a deal.
I mean, he was what, like 23 or something?
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
and 17 is legal. I mean, not for
depending on the state. Most states.
Hey, I think in South Carolina, where I live, it's like 14 or something. But
I remember back then when that song came out. You know, again in New York where I grew up, I think like 16 or 17 was the legal age. And like a friend in LA said, yeah, over here it's like 16 or 17. And now, and then like I remember looking it up, and somewhere I read Alabama was like 14. Yeah. I think you probably had to be related to the person or something too. Oh. It's like, Jesus Christ.
First cousin's all right down here.
She's only 11. Daddy says she's too young, but he's my brother and he'll let me do what I want. You know, it's like,
God.
Oh, man. Guys, I'm sorry to end the party. I got to put my daughter to bed.
Oh, as long as you don't put her to sleep. I was like, geez.
I've said that before. And everyone's like, oh.
Putting my daughter to sleep. No, give her a chance to live.
I'll let you guys wrap this up.
No, we're going to say goodbye. We're all going to say goodbye.
Yeah, it's coming up on 11 o'clock. This was a really great show. I hope the two of you that are still listening out there, my mom and dad, are really at least had a good time, and forgive me for photobombing these guys. So,
if you haven't seen the show from its beginning, please do, because there's a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of funny parts, but the guitars that he showed off tonight are ridiculous. You need to, and they're all in separate parts of the show, so you gotta watch the whole show to see them.
Yeah, definitely. You know, tell your friends about it if you don't like your friends. And you know, we really did have a lot of fun earlier. All kidding aside, we had a lot of fun earlier, and we brought on some really great celebrity guitars. You know?
I was gonna say it was great until I showed up.
Oh, listen, man, it was horrific until you showed up. Believe me, you saved the day. The hate mail I was getting. Who's this moron? What the hell shows was he on? He's a poser. All this stuff.
Look, it's Kip Winger.
Yeah, and the girls were just like, he's a retard. He looks like he has Down syndrome. It's like, don't have this guy on again. Look, Johnny's asleep. I mean,
that's what you mean. It's funny.
Yeah, no, but seriously, go back and watch the show from the beginning. I brought some really cool celebrity guitars on, and we had a lot of fun tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you seriously for the audience. You guys have been really, really saying some nice stuff. So really, thank you very much. And anyone that wants to add me on Facebook, Jonathan Mankuta, that's Mankuta. Happy to always make new friends.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. We'll everyone as a guest again from your house.
There you go. how much punishment can you take? Live from Hollywood, it's this idiot again in the pink scarf. Oh God.
Next time you just have to be wearing the pink scarf and nothing else.
That's our special New Year's Eve treat.
Yes.
When the balls drop.
We actually do those shows.
Yeah. We do.
We can get Dave to just wear a scarf too.
By then, I might be thin enough to do that.
Yeah, we'll have a contest. The loser has to kiss me at midnight on New Year's Eve. Even your dog's leaving.
Licking or leaving? Oh, leaving.
Oh, okay. All right. I know, Jay, you got to get out of here. So we'll go. Dave, great to see you, man.
Same here.
As always.
Bye, guys.
John, great to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too, brother.
Amazing guitars. And yeah, I'll send you a thing on Facebook.
Thank you, man.
A thing, huh?
A thing. It's another dick pic. Oh God. Oh God.
A Richard pick.
Yes. Yes.
A Richard pic.
Cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. And
Have a good night. Support these guys. I really like them. Please.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man.
We need sponsorship.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. We'll see you guys, what, Friday? I guess.
Friday it is.
Be back Friday. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Tuesday or early Wednesday, whatever it is where you are. And see you guys next time. All right. Johnny Beane TV. Good night.
Hey.
Peace out, guys.